season week of this NBA campaign. Grant has constantly, as we know, been compared with his air. What does he have to do to reach that plateau? We asked the expert.
I think he's got all the right tools. It's just a matter of getting a compliment for him, you know, on the basketball court. Someone who could relieve some of the tension, such as Pippen's done for me. You know, I think that would broaden his talents and broaden his productivity even greater because he knows how to play the game and he's smart and he's got all the right skills. And I think, you know, success comes along with that. You know, I think it's coming for Grant.
They're not that far from being a team that can go a long ways because they're talented. But they're, you know, their personnel, they've lost a lot of personnel over the last couple of years. They've lost some key players. They have players that they have to rebuild with it, but they're competitive, and I think that you know, everybody sees them in a situation like they had a couple weeks ago Sunday where they got LA down by a lot of points, and they just haven't been able to complete the game. They just don't have quite the right chemistry to finish games yet.
Sometimes winning masks a lot of things, and then when you go through a losing period or you go through a bad period, probably more willing to take a look at, you know, what you have and what you need, and I think that's the situation that we're in, and you know, so we'll get better, and we'll it's a big off season for us, and I look forward to being a part of that. I look forward to working, and I look forward to coming back next year.
Right here, how the Bulls come at the Pistons tonight. Dennis Rodman at the power forward spot, the NBA's leading rebounder. Note Tony Kukoc off the injured list in place of Scottie Pippen tonight. Bill Wennington in place of Luke Longley in the middle. He's an outside threat for sure. Ron Harper and Michael Jordan, the backcourt tandem. For the Pistons, it'll be Grant Hill and Don Reed up front. Brian Williams against his ex-mates. He won a championship ring with them a year ago. And Joe D. and Lindsey Hunter, the backcourt. Should note that Dumars is not 100%. Had a bout with the flu overnight. In fact, there was some thought this morning he might not even be able to play, but he is ready to go against his airness. Speaking of Michael, he's a part of our key matchup brought to you by your Michigan Toyota dealers. Toyota every day. And I would imagine these guys will go nose to nose tonight.
You know, at some point they will, and each will consider it a huge challenge and try to kill the other guy. I look forward to it.
Well, so much has been written and said in the Windy City about that man, Phil Jackson. It's pretty much assumed he will not be back in Chicago next season. He makes $6 million this season, a one-year deal, which was signed last summer after it had been thought that he might go elsewhere. The question is, where will he go? Alvin Gentry, of course, doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to stay put right here in Motown to continue as the head coach of the Pistons, and he has 3 more games to try to prove that he deserves that full-time position. Bruce Alexander, number 9 there, along with Greg Willard and Joe Forte, will be blowing the whistles in this basketball game.
Fred, you talked about it in our open. There is not a seat to be found in this place. In fact, many fans will be standing, and this is reminiscent of the air, the atmosphere back in the early 90s when both these teams were contending for championships.
When, of course, Dennis Rodman's hair was black, and when Michael Jordan had hair, or at least choosing to have hair, when Rodman played for the Pistons. Now he's for the other guys. The Bulls were booed loudly when they entered the floor, as you might suspect. Michael Jordan, though, says actually he's booed worse, if you will, in Cleveland than he is here. Imagine that.
The city of Cleveland blames him for them still being 0 in the championship column.
A steal right off the bat by Scott Burrell, who lays it in. A late switch in their starting lineup is Burrell instead of Kukoc, who gets the call. As Phil Jackson elects to go a little bit smaller. Burrell came to this ball club from Golden State in a trade at the beginning of the season. Brian Williams on the runner, and it rattles home. He's averaging 19 points against the Bulls this season.
Well, Brian Williams, he gets up for these occasions as well, so I look for him to have a stellar game. Getting him going early, always important.
Jordan against Dumars. From Dennis, open jam. Rebound comes out to Brian Williams. Opening minute here at the Palace. Grant couldn't get by Burrell, who was a very good defender, by the way. Bounce feet away.
Beautiful. excellent pick and roll. Williams very quick to the basket, and the nice bounce pass from Grant Hill. Detroit off to a very nice start in their half-court sets.
Grant coming off his 4th triple-double of the season Sunday in Charlotte. Nice dish there. Burrell inside. He has the first 4 Chicago points.
That's a bit too easy. Burrell's very athletic.
Former Charlotte Hornet. Grant against Burrell. And gets a screen. Still against the former UConn Husky. Illegal defense against Chicago. So it's a warning. Phil Jackson felt the team's loss the other night against Indiana was actually good for them. It'll really toughen them up mentally now for what's going to lie ahead in the playoffs.
And it's interesting to hear him say that, because you're talking about a 6-time or 5-time champion. You wouldn't think they'd need a wake-up call, huh?
Don Reed kept the rebound alive for Lindsey against Harper. Knows he's quicker than him, but Harper too's become a good defender over time. Lindsey gave it nicely to Brian Williams. So Williams has all 6 Piston points, Burrell all 4 Bulls points. And a one-on-one duel here out of the gate.
The key to Williams' success thus far, moving well without the basketball twice now.
Burrell for 3. Rebound, fought for. It's Dennis Rodman. Gee, what a surprise. Harper facing, missing. Rebound, good box out by Brian Williams. Jordan looking for a steal from behind. Brian Williams runs over Burrell, or Harper rather, and it's an offensive foul.
That was almost predictable, because when a big guy gets a head of steam going, it's usually difficult for him to change directions. But this was the last basket off the penetration there by Lindsey Hunter. Williams able to go off the glass. Now here, as fluid and as quick as he is, very difficult for him to change directions or make a secondary move when he's got that much momentum going in one direction.
Took some guts for Harper to take that charge.
You're right.
Jordan doubled right away. Burrell a follow-up. Rebound. Rodman got a piece of it, enough to keep it alive. Burrell tries again.
Man, Burrell is offensively aggressive, isn't he?
Taking a whole bunch of shots
already.
Grant missing off the leader. It remains 6-4. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports Detroit. Again, this game so meaningful to the guys in red. Jordan. Missed again. Rebound Wellington, though. Too many second chances now for the Bulls. Jordan drives, misses. Rebound inside. Rodman fights for it. And we have a whistle. It'll be Piston ball. Jordan's 0 for 3 early shooting. Lindsey thought about 3. Joe D will take it. Got it!
Joe is in a groove. We talked about it in the open. Over 20 points per game last 6 games for the Pistons.
So it is a 9-4 count. 4 minutes plus elapsed. Harper in the post. Wennington looks inside. Lindsey with a steal. Open foot race now. Jordan will try to cut him off on the angle. Lindsey behind the back to Williams. Waits it with already.
Beautiful. I thought for a moment that Lindsey Hunter, who has a knack for dunking on people, or at least trying to, was going to challenge Jordan that time. I think he made the smarter play.
11-4. Jordan to Harper on the lead. That doesn't go. Rebound tapped by Jordan. Ball chased down by Reed. Here come the Pistons. Lindsey on the run. Cutely to Dumars. Joe for 3. Oh, yeah! You got a timeout coming here for Chicago.
What a start for Detroit. And they're running the ball up the floor, putting a lot of pressure on Chicago to get back defensively.
Bulls are going to play it. I thought they'd call it TO. 14-4 because the Bulls can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. 5 minutes going in a 10-point lead. Harper blocked by Reed. Williams rips it away. Loose ball chased by Rodman.
Reed's all over the place.
A traveling violation. Would have been a 24-second violation. The Pistons all over the world champs right now. Having a it their way. The crowd into it. The Pistons are into it. 14-4 Detroit. We'll return with more first quarter action after this break.
We now take you live via sparring cam as heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis prepares for his upcoming title defense. Lennox, how you doing?
I feel good.
So what's the pre-fight strategy?
My speed is the key.
You have to like your chances.
If I'm on my game, I'm unstoppable.
Word is that you're ducking Holyfield.
Say what? Any more questions?
When the heavens thunder, when the nation calls, you can make a difference and be a part of it all.
Find yourself in the Army National Guard, serving 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year, and you'll find an extra paycheck, money for college, and all the adventure you can handle. Call 1-800-GO-GUARD.
In the Army National Guard, you can.
Start unpacking. Miami, it's tropic cool. Call for our free visitor's guide.
You're watching Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit.
Our next Pistons telecast on Fox Sports Detroit, our season finale against the Bucks. Terrell Brennan back. Bucks playing better basketball. 8 o'clock with a tip, 7:30 with the pregame, and of course, don't forget Pistons Weekly every Tuesday at 4:30. Whole bunch of notable faces in town tonight. Hey, Coach, Wayne Font's behind us. Bill Lambier is here. The mayor is here. Ike McKinnon's here, police chief. Of course, we all know about Lambier's number 40 being raised to the Raptors. Hope you had a chance to see that feature, by the way, in our pregame. Very well done. Pistons with a 10-0 blitz here.
Surging right now and doing a job defensively and getting assists on every basket scored thus far. Sharing the ball does work.
Joe D tries. Good again!
Another assist, another easy basket for Joe Dumars. And again, Detroit having success because they've got Scotty Burrell who's in the game right now shooting, and they've got Ron Harper taking a lot of shots. So the guys that normally score for Chicago are not getting that many opportunities.
Pass deflected. Tony Kukoc off the bench. They need some instant offense. Burrell stayed out there. Jordan lost a hand. Saved by Williams. Pistons up by 13, looking to add more. All Dumars has done is hit 3 for 3 outside the arc so far. Look at that score.
Got to keep it going, though, because Chicago has that comeback tendency.
Dumars, clever pass to Williams. Got away with a step, perhaps. Kukoc pulls it off. Bulls were down 17 against the Pacers on Thursday night. Never could make up the gap. But that was in the second half. MJ to Harper. Inside Kukoc, a lefty that is short. Might have been partially blocked by Wayne. Might have got a piece of that. Lindsay drew a crowd. 10 seconds to shoot. Hunter leans. Rebound to Chicago. Bulls early on, 2 for 13 shooting the ball.
They look totally out of sync, and you really get an idea how much Pippen means to this basketball team.
No question. They were 26-11 without him when he was out with foot surgery at the beginning of the season. Harper missed it. He clanked it. Rebound comes to the Bulls again. Bad pass, Burrell. Somehow still the Bulls have it. Inside Harper from Kukoc. So the Bulls got a break. Where would they be right now, Greg, without second chances?
No question. And the thing you have to understand, Jordan, he's a big-time scorer. Harper used to be. Not so now. Burrell off the bench, starting. Kukoc into the lineup after a long layup. So all these guys are a little bit out of sync. Rodman, of course, primarily rebounds and plays defense.
Grant sizes up Burrell. Through a double team and a whistle. Final foul is on Burrell. Jerry Stackhouse checks in for the first time tonight. And it will be Brian Williams who will sit down. Hill wants to post up Burrell. It was a nice pickup by these Bulls. Cutting is down Reed.
Oh, man, how about that? And Rodman lost contact with Reed. Went over the try and double. Tried to recover. Too late. Reed had already made his quick move.
Don has really played good basketball this month to close the season. Harper lost it. Joe D. Picked up by Kukoc. Pistons with a 13-point advantage. Hunter on a tee-up. Rattles out. The rebound fought for out of bounds. It belongs to the Bulls.
You know, Grant Hill can pass with the very, very best of them. Very unselfish. And watch Rodman. Comes over, tries to get back. Too late. Reed has already made his move. And to echo your sentiments a moment ago, John Reed has been playing phenomenally well over the last couple of games.
Short block by Reed.
Oh, Don Reed on cue.
Don sent it back. Joe D. for three.
He's hit them all from just about that spot on the floor, too.
Dumars 4 for 4, and the Pistons walking down memory lane themselves here tonight, leading 22-6. Rodman turning on Reed, nowhere near. Rebound to Stackhouse. Here come the Pistons, chance to add to the lead. Lindsay ran out of space, picked up by Burrell. Lindsay Lee on the drive, blocked from behind by Burrell. Alvin Gentry wanted a foul call. No whistle blown. Here comes Kukoc. Harper.
Again, you got all these guys that are not comfortable shooting the basketball for Chicago, and that's playing right into Detroit's hands.
Alley-oop inside. Grant Hill finished it off.
They're putting on a clinic.
They're smoking them right now.
Putting on an absolute show. Highlight film stuff.
24-6. Scottie Pippen cannot pass that kidney stone quick enough. Can they get him here by a Learjet? 18-point lead, bringing everybody to their feet. Watch it again. Another timeout for the Bulls. They're in early trouble.
This is where I work. These are my co-workers. Those are my customers. And that's me. Employee number 8. I make baskets.
Harvey?
What do you want?
We've got to talk. These kids you're mixed up with don't know right from wrong.
They're my friends.
People who don't dial 1-800-COLLECT are nobody's friends. 1-800-COLLECT is 10 cents a minute every evening.
Really?
This isn't a game, kid. You could be saving your parents money.
Bobby, with us or him?
You made the right choice, son. 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
We're here with Eddie and Mike. Now, Eddie here thinks that saving a few pennies per gallon on gas just doesn't add up to much. But in fact, with the extra gas those pennies will buy, Mike and his trusted dog can make 15 more trips to the park each year. At Clark, Mike gets high-quality gas just like those big oil places, but for less money, which means more miles per dollar. We call that MPD. So while Mike's off to the park, Eddie is, well, just parked. Clark, great gas, great price.
Sparky.
You know, Don Reed has become a human eraser of late. This time rejecting Michael Jordan as the second block of the game. It leads to Joe Dumars setting up from three-point land and bombing. By the way, Joe Dumars playing with flu-like symptoms. You wouldn't know it. And then again, running the ball up the floor. After good defense, the Pistons, Lindsey Hunter up top to Grant Hill, who slams it and poses for the camera. And there's your scoring run. Pistons doing it big time.
And Joe D with 12 of those 20 points. And not to make a martyr out of him, but again, during each timeout, he goes to this sweatshirt because of the flu bug. But in this month, down the stretch, he's shooting 54% from three-point land. Kukoc tries one. Rebound to the white shirts. Judd Bushler comes off the Bulls bench along with Steve Kerr. Will Jackson looking for any kind of combo that's going to work right now. Dumars again. Finally missed one. Rebound chased down by Williams, who's back out there.
I think the Bulls expected it to go in. They didn't go to the glass.
I think you're right. Especially after he made his first four, no wonder.
Pistons, by the way, 10 baskets, 9 assists. That's tremendous.
Stackhouse tried to get it inside. Williams somehow stayed with it. Near impossible shot. Reed gets it back out. Another chance. Pass inside for Reed, knocked out by Kukoc. But the Pistons looking to move the ball quickly. Even Alvin had to applaud, even though that pass went off the Chicago hand. But look at the early shooting rate. 3 for 19 for the Bulls. Stackhouse got it. He gets on the score sheet. It's 26-6. If you just tuned in, know that it's not a graphics mistake.
And it's not the Lions and the Bears either.
Rodman. You'd think Jordan would be shooting more here. They need him desperately. Kukoc challenged by Williams, tipped in by Rodman. Are they going to count it? Are they going to take it away for basket interference? No bucket. 1:05 to go in the quarter.
Again, you had Don Reed challenging the shot. May have gotten a little contact right there after the shot, but Reed makes him change it. Or perhaps, I'm sorry, Brian Williams makes him change it. And Rodman gets called for the goaltending.
Stackhouse tried. Open wing J. Front iron to Kerr. Kerr, number 3 in the league in three-point shooting. Finds Kukoc instead. He missed it. They're just out of their rhythm. Bulls ball. Jackson laughing it off, though. Of course, it's the first quarter. His team low this year for a quarter is 11 points.
I don't think they're going to get there.
They can get 2 possessions for 1 in the quarter. Jordan on the drive. Draws the whistle. Lindsay and Joe both felt that Jordan had the offensive charge.
But through all that, Chicago's got to take it out of bounds. The Pistons have played great defense without fouling this quarter, so Pistons are not over the limit.
Is this a superstar call here, Greg?
It looked like pretty good defense to me, Fred.
Jordan gets a rest. Back out there is Harper with the basketball. Bushler to Rodman. 10 to shoot for the Bulls. Look at the Pistons up on defense. 7 to shoot. Bushler fires. Oh, my. He banked it home for 3. 26-9. That was like an Antoine Walker shot.
That was clearly the law of averages coming into play for the Chicago Bulls.
Pistons can take perhaps the final shot of the quarter. Stackhouse had it poked away, though. Hustle Don Reed near us. And it's Bulls ball, 4.7 to go in the quarter.
If you're the Pistons, you want to make them throw it in front of you. Preferably in the backcourt so that they'll have to eat up as much as the 4.7 seconds as possible, and then don't foul on a wild, desperate shot.
Jerome Williams, instant energy, checks back in. Joe D gets a huge hand, sits down. Rodman tossing to Kerr. Good ball mover. Bushler, rebound, chased down by Rodman, and the Bulls have been held to a season-low 9 points in the first quarter. The second-best defensive quarter for the Pistons this season. Can you believe it? They'd love to bottle it and keep it on the shelf for next season, that's for sure. 26-9 Pistons after the first 12 minutes here at the Palace.
I'm not paying that.
It's another case of sticker shock, but your Superstar dealer has the cure.
You don't have to worry about high prices when you shop at one of my dealerships. I've made a special purchase of over 300 1- and 2-year-old vehicles that you can buy or lease with unbelievable low monthly payments.
Special purchase escorts and tracers from $159 a month. Contours and Mystiques from $169 a month. Tauruses and Sables from $189 a month.
Save a ton of money. Call now, 1-800-MAIL-FAR.
There are hundreds of lawnmowers to choose from, with a broad range of quality features designed to meet your needs. But the ones that have the edge to do the job right have one feature in common: a powerful, high-performance Briggs & Stratton engine. Make sure your lawnmower is powered by Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
Want an adjustable bed, but don't think you can afford one? Then you haven't priced Craftmatic adjustable beds lately. Craftmatic Model 2 beds cost hundreds less than these quality flat beds. And this Craftmatic Model 3 is available at 50% of Craftmatic 2's low cost. 50%. Craftmatic Model 3 and 2 beds adjust to all these healthful positions and offer optional heat and massage, yet cost less than these quality flat beds. Get our free catalog by mail, including information on Craftmatic 3s at savings of 50% of Craftmatic 2's low cost.
Hello, I'd like to receive your free catalog and 50% information by mail.
Certainly, sir.
It's easy, so call for this free catalog right away.
Call toll-free 1-800-247-0011. That's 1-800-247-0011. Toll-free 1-800-247-0011.
You're watching Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit.
Now let's take a look at tonight's Adidas Real Deal. One reason why Piston fans can't get too comfy right now. Remember Boston? On our last telecast, Antoine Walker completing a 17-point comeback in the last 6:57. He said he was trying to bank that shot. I don't believe it, but that's what makes this play the Adidas Real Deal. Was he trying to bank that?
That's bull. And I don't mean Chicago bull either. He was just trying to get the shot off without getting it blocked. He had a prayer answered that night.
You saw Joe D wearing the sweatshirt. The Hitman is here. I mean, it's been a veritable who's who of Motor City sports and politics here tonight. And they have been entertained with the Bulls with 9 points again this season low. Their career, I should say franchise low, is 6 points. And they almost had the situation of having to absorb that here in the first quarter.
Greg, you talk about this atmosphere here. This is why the NBA does not want Michael Jordan to even think about retiring. This happens in every city he travels to.
Including Atlanta, where they set the all-time single-game attendance record a couple of weeks ago, breaking the Pistons mark at the Silverdome. Dickie Simpkins with the ball in the lane. Patient puts it down. Simpkins has played well. Reacquired as a free agent 6 weeks ago after they had traded him to Golden State at the start of the season. Look at the Bulls' grade, 18%. How long can they survive shooting that number? Not very. 15-point game. BW nicely to Lindsay. Had to readjust because of Kerr in the backboard. Still Piston ball. Got to hoist it with 3 to shoot. Got it. Lindsay with a knockdown.
Hey, you can thank Mike Abdenauer for that. He was right in Lindsay's back door yelling, put it up, because you didn't get the rim, you didn't get a reset of the shot clock.
28-11. Timeout, Phil Jackson. A 22nd timeout. Things coming a little bit unglued on the Bulls side of the floor. Mark your calendars, July 14th. The Panels will be the only arena in the U.S. to host the USA Basketball's 1998 Men's World Championship team. See 12 of the NBA's greats, including Grant Hill, take on a USA Basketball team consisting of top collegians. Call 248-377-0100.
Now, a moment ago, Lindsey Hunter feels like there's contact from behind on this play. Doesn't get his shot off. Wants to complain a little bit about it. Shot clock's winding all the while. Mike Abdenauer says, Lindsey, get it up there. And he does.
That's a tough shot to shoot out of your rhythm falling away like that.
Hey, but he's good at that. He can put that down, and he showed you with that particular shot.
Dennis Rodman directing traffic. Randy Brown is on the floor. Still no Jordan. Bushler off a screen. Draws iron. That's it. Rebound chased down by Rodman. Dennis averages 15 a game. That's his second best total in his career for one season. Kerr went down hard. Randy Brown will try. Nothing going. And they're missing badly.
They've got a lot of players shooting that aren't accustomed to taking these type of shots at this point in the game.
Grant Hill is. He's got 4. But you know the Utah Jazz and Seattle Supersonics love this start of the ball game. Almost 14 minutes in. All Pistons. Rodman inside to Simpkins. Former #1 draft pick of the Bulls has a couple of quick field goals. 30-13. Jordan continues to sit here. Williams. 6 to shoot. They got to create something here. Grant's task, a fall away. 24-second violation.
And that's about the best sequence of defense that Chicago has had in this game. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan will report back in.
And you know that shot a moment ago by Grant, people might say, well, gee, you didn't even draw iron. Remember, so many times Isaiah Thomas was in a position, as all great superstars are, to try to bail your team out with 2 or 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Plus, that shot was partially blocked. Bushler got up and got a hand on it.
Jordan rising, finally gets his first field goal in 6 tries.
See, he's the one now that you got to be careful of, because he can single-handedly bring Chicago back into contention here.
15-point game. Pistons have doubled them up here. Grant Hill wants it against MJ. This is what people came to see. Grant spinning, Jordan a foul. Jordan the other night, in case you missed it, threw the basketball at the head of Mark Jackson because of frustration. He had been fouled on an open court opportunity.
You're going to see the quick hands of Jordan, still able to move and anticipate well defensively. Got the hand in there, got the contact. Grant Hill's going to go to the line, but he still moves very, very well defensively, Michael Jordan.
Grant with the first of 2. Jordan, first team all defense 8 times in the NBA. I mean, he's just got a litany of records that are incredible when you start to absorb them.
Well, he has no weaknesses in his game. That's the thing. And you know, I've always said, you know, if you really want to be honest about patterning yourself after Michael Jordan, your game, then you got to do everything well. You got to be the complete player, because that's what he is.
Brown with it. Picked up momentarily by Williams. Pistons by 16. Jordan with the basketball. You know he's going to have to shoot a ton here to rescue his ball club in the first half. The fall away. Missed it. Rebound Rodman. That's the one aspect of Chicago's game that's so difficult. Jordan inside. Back-to-back hoops for him. The Bulls are the leading rebounding team in the NBA. And they're getting some second opportunities to somehow stay afloat as they are down 14. Knock away Randy Brown. Still Piston ball.
So you also have to understand, in the mind of Chicago, they're well within this game. There's no problem. 14 points, no need to panic. It's early.
Not a good pass by Lindsay. Telegraphed it. Brown saw it. Jordan trying for 3 in a row. Yep. He's got 6. Look out now. 31-19.
The thing you have to try to do is play him without the basketball as best you can. Try to keep the ball out of his hands, because, you know, once he gets in a groove, and see, this is a challenge to Michael Jordan now. This is just what he wants.
Well, the Pistons led by 20 in the first quarter. That's certainly a challenge for MJ or anybody. We'll be back.
Mr. Allen's Markdown Madness. Just mark down almost all men's Fila, Reebok, AP Versace, and Steel Toe. 29 or 2 for $50. Men's and women's Converse Fila, K-Swiss, Yukon Casuals, 29 or 2 for $50. Kids Fila, LA Gear, Adidas, $10. Designer and Perry Ellis Jeans, 29 or 2 for $50. Designer and Fila Jogsons, 29 or 2 outfits for $50. Nylon pants, $10. Just arrived. Big Fellas Adidas basketball shoes. Up to size 20, 29 or 2 for $50. Mr. Allen's Markdown Madness.
Who says we serve the best steaks and prime rib in town? We hope you will too. Mountain Jack's Steakhouse. In this line of work,
I'm a contract killer.
A little overtime.
This is the girl? No, it's your mammy.
There has been an unauthorized kidnapping.
Can kill you.
Get him.
Where you
can't tell by the way I roll, shorty, that I'm a ladies' man, a businessman. Let's work. Condos down the shore, multi-million pension plan.
From the team that brought you Broken Arrow and Face Off, the big hit.
What's up with you guys? You supposed to be the Spice Boys or something?
Rated R. On April 24th, it happens.
Jax can give your car that new car look without a new car price. Motor cleaning, buff and wax, interior cleaning, carpet shampoo, and vinyl top cleaning are all available at the Jax detail centers.
It's all fun and games until someone loses their... James Brown hosts The World's Funniest, Sundays on Fox.
Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit, brought to you in part by Jax. More than just a car wash. Michael Jordan, Grant Hill, tied with career triple-doubles, 28. Grant, coming off one against Charlotte, now has 4 this season, as MJ has yet to get one. So you got to believe that Grant is going to take over that lead in the battle of that duo. But Jordan, I mean, is going to win another scoring championship this year. He's probably going to win his 4th MVP trophy. Or actually be his 5th.
And I said at the beginning of the year he'll win his 6th NBA championship. But, you know, I think that Chicago's got some mending. They've got to have people healthy, and they're probably going to need a presence in the middle. Remember, Luke Longley's still out.
Stackhouse. Flashing Brian Williams. BW with 10.
That was their presence in the middle last year, Brian Williams, but he's Pistons property now.
Williams definitely helped them in the playoffs win a championship. Not that they couldn't have done it without him, but he was an integral member. 14-point game. Jordan trapped hard. Still Chicago ball. Alvin Gentry going to try to run some fresh faces at Jordan if he can.
And not only that, Fred, he may want to think about sending another defender after him, make him give it up, and keep these other guys shooting that are clanging it right now.
Cavaliers did a very good job against him about a week ago in that department, running extra people out. Williams on the outlet to Stackhouse. And he was tripped. Let down hard, he's okay.
One thing I am not going to do is allow Michael Jordan to shoot these guys back into the game by himself. Some of these other guys are going to have to step up and make some big shots. If they can, so be it. But that would be my plan of attack.
Stackhouse trying to post Randy Brown. Turns on him. No. Rebound pinned against the glass by Reed. We have a Don Reed foul.
Boy, Don Reed just goes in there with so much aggressiveness, and oftentimes he'll get called for over the back, but you never want to dissuade him from hustling the way he does.
He's had 26 shot blocks in the last 16 games, including tonight. I mean, he's really looking on the off-ball help to block those shots. Frankly, the way Rodman has done in his career. At 6'8". Jordan to fall away. Rebound along with the Grant Hill. Grant with 5 points, give it up to Williams. Filled the lane and scored.
See, that's Brian Williams, and that's the threat that he gives you. And that's much better than earlier in the first quarter when he was trying to bring the ball up the floor and make a play, ended up turning it over.
35-19, Williams 6 of 8 shooting. Simpkins given some space.
Notice the hesitation. Really not comfortable with taking that shot, even though Williams was giving it to him.
Bulls turnover. Jordan, a bump, got away with it. Grant threw the ball away. Rebound, Harker. Or off the turnover of the Harker. Jordan goes baseline, reverses, tried the impossible English that he's made so many times before. He'll shoot 2.
Alvin Gentry jumped about as high as Jordan did on that shot attempt because he didn't think this was a foul. Watch it. But I think it was. Right across the face as Don Reed tries to block the reverse layup there.
Not much. Don tried to pull the arm back, but could not in time. And let's face it, Jordan has had the benefit of so many calls, as a lot of great players do in this game and frankly other sports. But I guess if you live outside the state of Illinois, you think it happens too much. And in the aforementioned game against Cleveland when the Cavaliers hounded him, Michael was held to 10 of 24 shooting against the Cavaliers that night when the Bulls lost, and Jordan settled for 29. Tonight, he's got 7. 35-20. Sealy, good ball fake. Loses Brown, missed it though. Ball kept alive. Malik stayed after it. Follows it up and down with a lefty.
Malik Sealy, who has not played in the last 2 games, coming in, making an immediate impact, going to the basket, getting that putback.
Important time for Malik here in the final 3 games to make sure nobody's forgotten about him.
Good point.
Including Alvin Gentry. Randy Brown hits it. Brown with his first field goal, 37-22.
See, I'm okay with that because you got to give up something, and you don't want 23 handling it all the time. So you make him force it around the horn, and if Randy Brown can knock it down, so be it.
Stackhouse, good defense by Harper. Stack threw it away at the foot of Brian Williams. 2-on-1. Jordan pulls. No. Rebound to Grant. 5 minutes left until halftime. Pistons still comfortably in front by 15, but Jordan is 3 for 11 shooting the ball.
But you know what makes him a great player? He has no conscience.
Grant off the glass. Despite the hounding, hawking physical defense of 23.
That was a tough shot that time by Grant Hill. The point I was making about Jordan, he has no conscience. 3 of 11, so what? He's going to shoot another 20 times in this game.
Grant had a similar difficult bucket against MJ in the last meeting at the United Center. Enjoy this one. The Pistons lead by 17, under 5 minutes to go in the first half.
It's time for the American Center.
There is a war going on, and the battlefield is your yard. To win this war, you'll need the most powerful equipment. You'll need the very best supplies. You'll need guaranteed low prices. Who has the power to bail out the troops? The Home Depot.
If this winter made you think there is really something to global warming, you're going to want to be where it's cool this summer. McMacken Marine on beautiful Lake St. Clair and Mount Clemens has the largest selection of new and pre-owned boats in the Metro Detroit area. First in sales, first in service, McMacken Marine is the original Sea Ray dealer serving the boating community since 1945. For a huge selection ranging from 10 foot to 100 foot, quality service and value pricing, call McMacken Marine at 810-469-0223 or visit our website.
Sometimes you just have to want it more. When more points comes down to more passion. When you'd rather wound your body than your pride. When getting to heaven means going through hell. And either you have it in you or you don't. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Tonight after the game, it's Fox Sports News Primetime. All the scores, all the stories, and all the action from your primetime team 7 nights a week. We are there, Fox Sports News Primetime, tonight after the game on Fox Sports Detroit. Well, free hair paint. Boy, the wish of every basketball fan, huh? To be like the worm. The young and the old, and I'm sure for the adults, they have to go home and hope that the wife has the lights off. Honey, don't turn the lights off, or on rather. I'm really tired, I gotta get to bed. Dennis, of course, didn't need to go to Fantastic Sam's. He's got the paid job every day. He didn't go to Earl Scheib, did he?
Well, last week it was purple. This week it's yellow. Who knows what the playoffs will bring.
The original bad boy, he loves these battles against the Bulls. Once upon a time threw Doug Collins at Chicago Stadium in a melee, you may recall, when Doug was coaching the Bulls.
And Doug has a long memory. I'm sure he hasn't forgotten that.
Threw him like a rag doll. Kukoc. Tony Kukoc has his first field goal, and the Bulls are back within 15. They're just trying to hang in there here in the first half and regroup at halftime. Jordan trying to defend Grant Hill on a tall pass from Stackhouse. Sealy, 2 in a row.
Nice job by Sealy. Perhaps an even better job, Grant Hill, fighting off Michael Jordan to get that entry pass.
Back to a 17-point game. Kerr is chased. Quick trigger.
Kerr is a good shooter, but you don't see him do that a lot. Take it off the dribble and score. He's usually a standstill shooter that gets the ball when you kick it out after penetration.
Knock that one down. It's a 15-point game again. 41-26. Seeley misfires. Rebound Simpkins. New coach with Simpkins against Williams. Mickey Simpkins with double team. Seeley got a piece of the ball. 5 to shoot. Bulls have to hurry. Jordan on a bailout. No. Rebound. Harper inside. Did he push to get it? Take it away. Foul on Harper. 3:12 to go in the second quarter.
Ball's going to rim out for Jordan, and there's Harper inside battling. Gets called for the push-off. And now Detroit with the chance to extend their lead, which stands at 15 right now.
Mahorn back to the bench. Stackhouse. Oh, yes.
You had Harper gambling, trying to steal the ball out of the post. When he was unsuccessful, just a quick turn and dunk for Stackhouse.
Kukoc airs it out. It's a long two. So the Croatian with a couple of field goals here in the second quarter.
And now if he's starting to find a rhythm, obviously he's the one guy you can't leave when you try to help out.
Stackhouse off the alley-oop from Grant. That was eye contact. And Stack spinning for the easy two. 45-28 as they start to trade some hoops.
Stackhouse and Hill have really worked that play well on a few occasions.
Harper on a runner. Ron Harper with 4. 45-30. But the Bulls need some stops. Stackhouse turning. Rebound to Kukoc. He's clever on the open floor. Kerr, a nose to the rim. Laid it in. Kerr with 4. Bulls within 13.
And if you're Detroit, in my mind, you want to have at least the 13 to 15-point lead because you play so hard, expended so much energy. You don't want to have Chicago within 10.
Brian Williams inside, collects, offensive foul. He'll chew the ear of Joe Forte, feeling the foul is on Simpkins. Brian just heads down the floor wisely. 1:45 to go in the quarter.
You're going to see the ball coming to the post, and you see the sprawling Simpkins and Brian Williams saying, no, I did not push him, but the official right there on the play, they called a foul. If you're Brian Williams, you got to shake it off and play defense. Actually, he's going to come out of the game right now.
With his second foul, replaced by Rick Mahorn.
It's a good move to get him out of the game because he's emotional right now. You don't want to have him do something silly or ill-advised to pick up that third.
Jordan crosses over, goes inside, and he is mauled, and Jordan will shoot 2.
Well, Jordan making his move to the basket. Nice crossover. He gets inside. You want to make sure you don't give him an opportunity to get it up to the hoop because this guy, the king of the three-point opportunity, make him shoot 2 at the free throw line.
In the bad boy days, the Jordan rules, which were well chronicled here. What do you remember most about that Piston defense that made it so tough on you?
Well, the thing they wanted to do was keep him shooting jump shots. You know, at that time of his career, Jordan was a guy to take it to the basket and dunk all over people. Well, the Pistons, within the Jordan rules, they would be very physical with him. When he got the ball near the hoop, they'd punish him and try to convince him not to come in there anymore. And a lot of times it worked.
Nobody played him as tough as those teams did. Grant crosses over inside. Oh, almost made it. Here comes Jordan. 5-on-4 Bulls as Grant getting up now. Kukoc for 3. Rebound to MJ. Jordan, the ball fake, puts it up. Did not go down, but he'll shoot 2 more.
See, that's the point I was making a moment ago. You allow him to get it up on the glass, there's always the chance that it might go in. And that one almost went in. Here's the miss. Jordan's going to be inside. Now right here, Stackhouse fouls him, but not hard enough because that was nearly a 3-point chance.
But Jordan misses the first of 2, so he's missed 3 of 5 so far at the line.
He's shooting it hard right now. He's a little strong, and he's getting that back rim a lot, and that's on his jump shots as well.
2 teams combining so far for only 7 attempts. You saw Burrell come back in. Jordan missed him again. Gotta have to be proud of for the greatest player ever. 3 for 12 from the floor, 2 for 6 from the line. Grant against Jordan. One-on-one. Lost it. Goes inside. Blew the whistle.
Man, did he ever lose it? You know, the threat. And these guys are really mirror images of each other when it comes to getting the ball to the hoop. The threat of going right. Watch Jordan jump right there. That's all Grant Hill needed to open up the lane to go left.
Does Grant have the physical shooting skills to become the kind of jump shooter that Jordan has become? And can Grant do it over time?
I don't know that he could ever become that good a jump shooter. Jordan's a great jump shooter. I mean, a great jump shooter. And if Grant Hill can improve and come up just short of that, I'm sure he'll be happy with it.
Grant says he's going to spend the entire summer here in the Motor City working on his game every day at the Palace practice facility. 46-33. Jordan goes inside, a bump, no whistle this time. Oh, the gentle touch. He's got 10.
And he can't argue because there's been a lot of contact in the matchup between these two guys. And if the official's going to be consistent with it, that's all you want.
Grant Hill shakes and bakes. Gave it up. Malik Sealy tries. Missed on the 3. Grant the offensive board. Back up and down.
Oh, man, they're working hard. They are working so hard right now, the Detroit Pistons.
They lead by 13. Jordan gasping for a few extra breaths as he brings it down the floor. Point differential. Final shot of the quarter. Jordan leans, scoops and misses. Rebound, Stackhouse with time. An 80-foot hoist that goes wide left. But the Pistons, about as good as you could hope for if you're a Pistons fan and if you're the head coach, as they have totally put the shackles on Jordan and the Bulls. Sans Scottie Pippen tonight, but they lead here at halftime, 45-34. Now for a look at what's ahead on Fox Sports News after the ball game. Let's go to the Fox Network Center and get caught up on the highlight activity.
Now, K-Swiss presents this Fox Sports News Sports Break.
Alongside John Walls, I'm Brad Good of Fox Sports News with this sports break. The Yankees borrowed Shea Stadium and ran their winning streak with a 6-3 win over the Angels.
The Yankees' 3-game series with the Tigers this weekend has been moved to Detroit because of the structural damage at Yankee Stadium. News, scores, and highlights nightly on Fox Sports News.
Right here on Fox Sports Net.
There's a place where you can go the distance and enjoy the ride. Where you belong to your imagination and nothing else matters. There's a place where you can be yourself, no matter who you are. And do what you want to do, just for the fun of it. Welcome to the club, K-Swiss.
Do you believe man was meant to fly? We do.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away.
Mobile, where everything we do lets you take wing.
I believe I can fly.
If credit card bills are burying you alive, let Capstone Mortgage get you the cash you need. Cash to pay off your credit card debt, pay off property taxes, charge-offs, judgments. Whether you have good credit, bad credit, or no credit at all, why not let a loan from Capstone Mortgage give you a helping hand? Call 1-800-351-7555. That's 1-800-351-7555 for Capstone Mortgage. Capstone Mortgage. We have millions to lend.
Base Camp to Forester, report.
Me? I'm doing great. This Subaru Forester is a blast to drive. It's got a lot more horsepower than a CR-V. This all-wheel drive goes to anything. Handles easy as a cart.
Yes, I know all about the Forester. I meant your mission. Did you rendezvous with your partner?
Oops.
know she's going to pay for this.
The new Subaru Forester.
Michigan's largest Subaru dealer, Ann Arbor Subaru, on Jackson Road between Wagner and Z.
A lot of people think of me screaming out, "Awesome, baby, get a TO, baby." But I want to get serious for just a minute, because nobody is more serious about helping kids than the Shriners. The 22 Shriners hospitals across North America provide some of the finest orthopedic and burn medical care in the world to kids under 18, and they never charge a dime. If you'd like to find out more, call this toll-free number. Shriners, help kids get back on their feet.
1-800-237-5055.
You're watching Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit.
Back at the Palace, yes, it is true. 48-35. Pistons have dominated the first half, leading by as many as 20 points over the world champions. The Bulls' low, by the way, for a half this year is 31 points. Fred McLeod, Greg Kelser with you. And Greg, of course, we've talked so much this season about the Pistons' inability to close down games in the fourth quarter when they've had leads. As a professional athlete, how do you keep from that thought, the negative thought, seeping into your head here at halftime if you're a Pistons saying, we can't let this get away?
Well, it's got to be difficult in the case of the Pistons because they've had 21 games slip away in the fourth quarter where they've either been ahead or tied, and maintaining their lead in this game may be as tough as any they've had to try to maintain, because these are the Bulls, and they are accustomed to coming back, and they've got Michael Jordan who can do it single-handedly if you allow that to happen. So I imagine in their mind they're very happy right now, the Pistons, to be where they are, but they know that it's going to take a similar effort in the second half to walk away with the victory.
Do you expect Jordan to come out in the second half and maybe take 20 shots?
Oh yeah, no question about it. I think that he'll come out and he won't be selfish. He'll get the ball to the open teammate, but he'll also try to do what he can to get his own game going, because he really struggled in that first half. He worked for every shot he got.
Well, again, the Utah Jazz rooting for the Pistons here in the second half, because a Bulls loss would leave Utah in the driver's seat for the best record in the NBA. Well, the Pistons want to take all the air out of the Bulls balloon. 2 more quarters to do it. We'll be back at halftime.
If credit card bills are burying you alive, let Capstone Mortgage get you the cash you need. Cash to pay off your credit card debt, pay off property taxes, charge-offs, judgments. Whether you have good credit, bad credit, or no credit at all, why not let a loan from Capstone Mortgage give you a helping hand? Call 1-800-351-7555. That's 1-800-351-7555 for Capstone Mortgage. Capstone Mortgage. We have millions to lend.
Yep. We've got this song called Home Is Where My Harley Is that we'll be playing at the 95th reunion for Harley. On that wide open roads where I feel right at home, because home is where my Harley is. Because home is where my Harley is. You know, you can almost hear a motorcycle going when you play it. Well, I like it because it rocks. Very music, summertime. Woo!
Who says we serve the best steaks and prime rib in town? We hope you will too. Mountain Jack's Steakhouse.
Do you believe man was meant to fly? We do.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away.
Mobile, where everything we do lets you take wing.
I believe I can fly.
Looking for distinctive casual dining? Visit McEnry's Harborfront Restaurant and Banquet Center on beautiful Lake St. Clair. Enjoy breathtaking waterfront dining or just relax in our cocktail lounge. McEnry's easy boat access, delicious food, world-class wine list, and dramatic lakefront view makes McEnry's truly unique among Michigan's largest restaurant and banquet centers. Call 1-810-463-9660 for reservations or check out the McEnry's restaurant website at www.macray.com.
Fox Sports News Primetime. We are there. You're watching Fox Sports Detroit.
Detroit Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Mr. Allen Shoes and Sportswear's 10 locations, where you always get great 2-for-1 savings, and by Ameritrade, the only way to trade, period.
45-38, Pistons leading the Chicago Bulls here at halftime as they've held the Bulls to 37% shooting over the first 2 quarters. Hey, in case you have not heard, the Tigers will be playing at home, not in New York, because of the Yankee Stadium construction problem. So you'll be able to see Sunday's game from the corner right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Join Josh Lewin and Kirk Gibson with a call. The pregame with John Keating at 12:30. First pitch at 1 o'clock here on Fox Sports Detroit. Stay tuned. More coming up. All kinds of entertainment here in the first half. You're watching Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit. A member of the Fox Sports Net regional family. We'll return in a moment.
Everyone wants something from Jesus Shuttlesworth.
That's unbelievable.
But what his father wants,
Can we talk for a moment?
is something money can't buy.
It might. I figure you might need some fatherly advice. From who? From me.
Denzel Washington.
I pray that you understand why I pushed you so hard.
This isn't a game. This is life.
Don't blow it.
He Got Game, a Spike Lee joint, rated R. Starts May 1st everywhere.
The ultimate Derek Jeter dream date. First, you call a girl. Tell her that you're preparing a perfect candlelight dinner for her. I throw in some R&B. I can't cook, so I'll order some food. Tell them to give me the works and put it on my Discover card. Splash on a little cologne. Throw on your apron. The Discover card cashback bonus is the icing on the cake. But what else would she want to do but to watch highlights of us winning the World Series in 1996?
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Bobby?
What do you want?
We've got to talk. These kids you're mixed up with don't know right from wrong.
They're my friends.
People who don't dial 1-800-COLLECT are nobody's friends. 1-800-COLLECT is 10 cents a minute every evening.
Really?
This isn't a game, kid. You could be saving your parents' money.
Bobby, you with us or him?
You made the right choice, son. 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
Melfar Auto Group is more than cars. It's people.
I'm Melfar, your superstar dealer, here with my general managers. We have 4 locations, and there's one near you. Hi, I'm Mike Farr, Melfar Ford, no part, where the bargains begin.
New 98 Expedition from $364 a month. Taurus from $288 a month.
I'm Miller Farr from Melfar, Lincoln, Mercury, and Waterford, where you can get luxury for less.
98 Lincoln Navigator from $449 a month. Continental from $408 a month.
I'm Jay Puzio at Melfar Toyota Mazda Volkswagen in beautiful Bloomfield Hills, where price is never a problem.
98 Toyota Camry or Mazda 626 from $199 a month.
And I'm Melfar Jr., Melfar Superstar Used Cars, Hyundai and Suzuki on 8 Mile Road in Ferndale, where financing is never a problem.
98 Suzuki Esteem $149 a month. 98 Hyundai Accent $199 a month.
No matter what kind of vehicle you want, we've got it. So pick up the phone and call 1-800-MELFAR.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Pistons led by as many as 20 in the first quarter. Their halftime margin is 13 as we're moments away from the start of the second half.
I want to show you a couple of reasons, Fred, for the Pistons' success. You're going to see the ball go in the post to Stackhouse. When he gets it, you'll notice Brian Williams standing right there. He'll dart right down the lane as the Bulls stand and watch. No one picks him up. Easy basket. BW. Now Chicago in their comeback effort, play a little defense right there, get the theft, and then Michael Jordan's going to bring it up the floor. Now watch closely. No Pistons comes to pick him up. Right there with the basketball. Somebody's got to close in on him before he gets to that point. Late to pick him up. Jordan gets to within 15 feet and knocks it down.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's Melfar stats, brought to you by the Melfar Automotive Group. Pistons keeping Chicago at 37% shooting. 3 points. Interesting, Greg. 4 for 9 for Detroit. Over the last 7 games, the Pistons shooting 48% as a team. And all season long, as you know, they've been among the bottom teams in the league in that department. Why suddenly the resurgence in 3-point shooting?
Well, you know, Joe Dumars has really hit stride. He's the one. And in hitting his stride, he's opened it up for in the inside so that the Pistons can shoot things like 54%. There's Joe, mostly 4 of 9, and then doing a nice job against the #1 rebounding team in the league. And when you look at points in the paint, anytime you can dominate in that statistic, you give yourself a better chance to win the game.
We'll be back to get the third quarter rolling. The Pistons simply want to repeat what they did in the first two, as they have dominated the Bulls from the opening tap. We'll be back after this break on Fox Sports Detroit.
Midnight thunder, chills under, thunder got a hex on me. Midnight. Hypnotize, electrifies, thunder got a hex on me. New Midnight Thunder. Gatorade. Gatorade serves the heebie-jeebies.
Do you believe man was meant to fly? We do.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away.
Mobile, where everything we do lets you take wing.
I believe I can fly.
Please welcome an NBA legend, Ozzie Sheckman, folks. Yo, Oz, you scored the first basket in NBA history back in '47 for the Knicks. Was it like one of Stack's Wide World of Hurt super slams?
Well, it was actually a layup.
Like one of Grant's death-denying scoop kisses high off the glass, baby.
It was just a layup. Get off my back.
Ray Allen and the Bucks bring it to the Palace to battle Grant Hill and the Pistons. Bucks Pistons, Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports.
Do your kitchen cabinets look like this when they could look like this? Let's face it, the kitchen is one of the only rooms that you spend time in every day. So if your kitchen looks old and outdated, or your cabinets and countertops are worn at the seams, it's easier than you think to give your kitchen a whole new look with Century 21 cabinet refacing. Call now and we'll show you how in just days you can have your outdated cabinets looking like new for substantially less than the cost of custom kitchen remodeling and without the mess. Having your cabinets refaced by Century 21 cabinet refacing can even add durable value to your home, while at the same time make your kitchen beautiful. Our trained craftsmen will take your old cabinet doors and drawer fronts and replace them with new ones. You'll also get the highest quality workmanship and materials, along with many beautiful styles and colors to select from. So call Century 21 Cabinet Refacing today at 1-800-967-3212 for a free no-risk in-home estimate. That's 1-800-967-3212.
Fox Sports News. We are there. Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
Well, Michael Jordan, as expected, leading the Bulls in scoring here in the first half, but only 10 points. Keep in mind, he averages per game nearly 29 points a night. Then a big drop-off to Simpkins and Burrell, so not much scoring off the Chicago bench here in the first half, and that was a problem 2 nights ago in a loss against Indiana. Balanced scoring for Detroit, 3 guys in double figures, led by Dumars and Williams. BW 6 of 8 from the floor, and Grant Hill has 10 points in the first half to go with 6 assists and 6 rebounds.
Take a look at Michael Jordan's shot clock, or shot chart that is. You see he's 4 of 14 from the floor. A lot of damage from the left side and 1 layup. He's missed a lot of baskets from point-blank range, but the Pistons have been right there in his face on practically every shot attempt. Now, Joe Dumars, hey, easy to see where he's been successful. Everything outside of the arc, he's knocked down 1, 2, 3, 4 of 5 shooting from the outside, and all of that really helped the Pistons get going in that first quarter when they dominated.
And as I mentioned at the outset, Dumars, this month of April, a 50% shooter outside the arc. Off goes the sweatshirt. Like Abdenauer, the trainer, brought Joe a little cup of tea to help him try to stay as normal as he can. Fight Time on Fox Sports Detroit returns Saturday at noon from the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. The main event is a 10-round junior featherweight bout featuring Northern Ireland's Wayne McCullough, who is 20-1. It's Fight Time on Fox Sports Detroit this Saturday at noon. So the Bulls in a big hole here to start the second half. Again, they were down 17 in the third quarter to the Pacers a couple of nights ago and could only get as close as 4 in that loss.
If you're the Pistons, you rode a wave of emotion in that first quarter to help get yourself the big lead. You got to come out with that same enthusiasm, that same energy, because understand that the Bulls are figured that they're going to make a run. They got to make it right now in the third quarter. A quick hitter, and that's what you have to guard against if you're Detroit.
Interesting that Joe D and the Pistons shooting 54% from the floor in the first half. 2 of the last 3 opponents against Chicago have also shot better than 50 against them. So maybe some of their defense not as razor sharp as it will have to be come playoff time.
Joe Dumars, by the way, played exactly half of the first half. 12 minutes.
Rodman on a rebound. Kukoc starts the second half. Missed it though. Long rebound. Chased down by Lindsey Hunter. Grantwood gave it up to Williams. Ryan misfires. Rebound to Harper. Opening half minute of the second half. Kukoc against Williams, lefty on lefty. Ran out of room, but he was fouled in midair by Bryant. You see what the Bulls are, just basically an average team this year when they're down at halftime.
But believe it or not, that's probably pretty good numbers if you put it with the rest of the teams in the league. A lot of teams, when you're down, you don't see them come back, especially on the road.
Rodman called for it, gave it up to Jordan. Back to Rodman. Bangs inside. Offensive foul on Rodman. So another Chicago mistake. I'm sure that Ricky has given his ex-teammate an earful. I don't know that Dennis wants to hear it right now, but had no choice near the Pistons bench. Dumars from the top. Couldn't steer it home. Rebound to the Bulls. Still looking for our first points of the second half. Long ball, perfect. Scott Burrell.
Well, Scott Burrell, that's one of the things that he brings to the equation. He can shoot it from the outside. He can shoot it from behind the arc. He's a very talented basketball player. Just have to watch him and not let him get a rhythm going.
Hill against Burrell. That's what the matchup started out to begin the ball game. Rebound Rodman.
Detroit's got to get back to the ball movement and moving their bodies, having the success in the half court that they had in the first half.
Kukoc puts his head down. Scores. Tony Kukoc now has 6 and the Bulls are within 9.
If the Bulls get back into this game, you know they're going to do it with defense. And so far, their defense has been very good against the Pistons' first 2 or 3 possessions in this half. Can't become a stagnant offense if you're Detroit. Must move.
One-on-one. Hill goes baseline. Burrell put up the stop sign. Lindsey tees it up. Too strong. Rebound Harper. Tries again.
Got to push up.
Knocked it down.
Got to push up on him. He can't be allowed to stand there and shoot that shot unguarded.
So it's the Pistons who have come out of the halftime dressing room a little bit flat here, and thus their lead now has been shrunk. It's down to 6. Timeout Alvin Gentry. 9:24 to play in the third quarter.
One more time and welcome on Emotion, brought to you by.
This is where I work. These are my co-workers. Those are my customers. And that's me. Employee number 8. I make baskets.
Is there a best time to buy a new Camry? In a word, now. Spring shipments are in, and your Toyota dealer is crunching the numbers with leases starting at just $249 a month on equipped Camrys. Or add another $500 at signing, crunch that number down to $239 a month. Add another $1,000 at signing and crunch that Camry lease all the way down to $219 a month. Want to crunch your lease payments? Get to your Toyota dealer before April 30th. See your Toyota dealer. He's out to get you more Camry for less right now.
Well, my Discover card statement reads like a wish list.
What?
Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines. This will improve my golf game. It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. Discover card cashback bonus, no competition.
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the nervous sign.
The Vipers in defense of their Turner Cup. It all begins round one, game one of the International Hockey League playoffs as the Vipers tangle with the Michigan K-Wings Saturday, 7 o'clock here on Fox Sports Detroit with Dave Shen and John Honor.
Well, we talked about Tony Kukoc and the problems that he provides, and this is one of them. The guy can go to the basket and he can finish. They're lofting over the outstretched arms of the defense for an easy two.
Brian Williams looked like he was expecting help behind him, and it arrived too late.
Well, again, Kukoc forces you to have to play up on him because he'll knock the jumper down. The moment you do, he has the quickness and the first step to get around anybody.
And he's so clever at 6'11" to put the ball on the floor. But the Pistons 0 for 4 out of the gate here to start the third. Don Reed over the top to Williams. In the lane. Tough shot. Ryan with 14.
Good high-low post action there. Reed passing it from the high post down into the low block to Brian Williams for a much-needed Pistons basket. Their first.
8-point lead. Jordan off a screen from Kukoc. MJ with 12. 50-44. A smattering of cheers in the building on that one. Jordan was roundly booed in the player introductions before the game, as he suspected he would be. Williams, tough turnaround off the glass. Rebound, Kukoc. Going in the opposite hand. Couldn't penetrate. Now to the post, Kukoc. Against Don Reed, 3 inches taller. Nice spin move. Blocked by Reed, but there's a foul. And Kukoc will go to the line.
That's that quickness we talked about. Now, Don Reed, he's quick too, tried to recover defensively, but very difficult to block a shot from behind. Even when you get it without contact, the officials say you can't do that, and they call the foul anyway. And that looked like a pretty good block.
So the 29-year-old left-hander misses the first of 2. Jerry Stackhouse comes back in. Don Reed sits down with 3 fouls. Kukoc missed them both. Bulls are killing themselves at the free throw line now. 2 for 8. Good ball movement. Lindsay. No. Rebound Rodman.
Lindsey Hunter took that extra dribble in as opposed to knocking it down from where he caught it, and I think that threw his rhythm off a bit.
Scott Burrell arches and scores. It's a 3. That's the shot he added to his game when he was a member of the Hornets.
Right. And became one of the league's best. In fact, he's competed in the 3-point shooting contest at the All-Star break.
50-47 now. Pistons lead suddenly down to 3. Joe D with a hand in space, and he still knocked it down. Give him 15. All 5 of his field goals are 3 balls. 53-47.
That was much needed, but again,
Kukoc to the hole. Lays it in.
The point I was going to make on Joe Dumars' basket, yeah, it went in. It was a successful possession for the Pistons, but Fred, again, there was no movement. And I don't think you can live with and win this game if you don't get that movement at some point.
Stackhouse against Kukoc. Nice drop off to Williams. Struck by Harper. Bulls basketball. We played 5 minutes now.
There was the movement. Brian Williams just unable to cling to the ball.
Jordan readjusts. Rebound off the hand of Grant Hill to Lindsey. Down the floor to Grant. Too tall. Pulled down by Burrell. Chicago numbers the other way. Jordan. Good catch by Harper, who lays it in. The gimme bucket for the Bulls, and they're down 2.
How about Burrell with that over-the-head pass? You got to be strong to throw that thing with that much zip on at 3/4 of the court.
This is a 16-5 blitz the Bulls are on. Burrell got a piece of that one. Grant to the line. Scores off the glass. Tough little shot.
You notice the Pistons, each basket is becoming tougher and tougher to get now. Chicago's defense is starting to have an impact, and that's the part we talked about. We knew Chicago was going to come back with an effort.
Harper in the post. Missed a shot. Rebound Williams. And then a reach-in foul Harper. He's got to score in that matchup. He had Lindsey Hunter at his disposal.
Take a look at Burrell. Now this is the Wes Unseld over-the-head pass, almost the full length of the court. Jordan with the short over-the-head pass inside to Harper.
Burrell helping his ball club with 11 points, but the turnover results. And the Bulls enjoying the advantage in that department. Trying to add to it here with an extra possession off the Piston miscue. Kukoc sizes up things. Jordan in the post against Joe D. Drew a quick double team, goes away. Inside, puts it up, no. Tap Rodman, no. Rebound Williams. Pistons still the lead. Bad pass, Brian Williams though. Rodman to the lane and scores. 55-53.
And you know what? He looks over at Rick Mahorn as if to say, yeah, I can score. Rick Mahorn's been giving Rodman plenty of lip from the Pistons bench.
Piston mistakes now piling up here in the third quarter. Stackhouse, a high dribble, tough shot. Rebound comes down to the Bulls. Another outlet, Burrell to Jordan. They're looking to perhaps take the lead. Jordan contact, no whistle. And then it comes, and Jordan goes to the line.
You know, all the Pistons shots are becoming tough shots now. Now Jordan's going to make his move right here. Perhaps getting away with an offensive foul. Joe Dumars, knowing Jordan's moves, clearly anticipated perfectly. And then perhaps another foul not called on Michael Jordan at the basket.
That's got to be frustrating if you're the Pistons. I mean, Jordan did not have a lot of contact with Joe, but Dumars, the veteran he is, as soon as he felt it, fell backward. And let's face it, Greg, against most offensive players, that's going to be a charge in the open floor.
Most.
How about 99.5%? Jordan's free throw make, ending a streak of 3 straight misses, going back to the second quarter. Missed it again. I've never seen him shoot so poorly at the free throw line as he has tonight. 3 for 7. And a timeout, Pistons.
The biggest thing the Pistons have to guard against now is their own fears. Got to stay strong, Fred. Plenty time left.
Do you believe man was meant to fly? We do.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away.
Mobile, where everything we do lets you take wing.
I believe I can fly.
Looking for distinctive casual dining? Visit McInerney's Harborfront Restaurant and Banquet Center on beautiful Lake St. Clair. Enjoy breathtaking waterfront dining or just relax in our cocktail lounge. McInerney's easy boat access, delicious food, world-class wine list, and dramatic lakefront view makes McInerney's truly unique among Michigan's largest restaurant and banquet centers. Call 1-810-463-9660 for reservations or check out the McInerney's restaurant website at www.macray.com.
FX Baseball Saturday Night presents Camp Night.
You know, there's something seriously wrong with you.
It's cap night. Live a little boy.
All right, put some clothes on. I'm trying to eat over here.
Oh, you don't like my cap? You guys are boring. Look at you. You wear this every week.
I'm trying to eat.
Juan Gonzalez, Pudge, and the Texas Big Guns take on Cam, Robbie, and the rest of the Brady Bunch. FX Baseball Saturday Night. Rangers-Orioles, Saturday.
Pistons basketball brought to you in part by Armatron. Insulate the night with Armatron Insulate Night Vision Collection. Sizes and styles for men and women featuring superb Armatron quality and outstanding value. Look for Armatron at America's top retailers across the country. Well, the boss of the shot, Nancy Lieberman-Klein. I don't know if she's looking for prospective players here tonight or not. But
she has that look on her face.
She sure does. That
Nancy,
scouting look.
These guys cannot play in the WNBA. I promise you.
June 13th, though, Nancy and the Shock will make their debut here at the Palace.
The point I was making before we went to break, you know, the Pistons, they cannot succumb to their doubts, Fred. Can't start thinking, here we go again.
Don't forget about the open house, which is free May 11th at the Palace. Your chance to meet and greet the brand new members of the Detroit version of the WNBA. 5 to 7:30. Call 248-377-0100. At one time, Stackhouse was considered perhaps the next Michael Jordan, having followed him to Chapel Hill. The Bulls getting the extra second chances. That has certainly helped them here tonight. Steve Kerr is back in the ballgame for the Bulls. Stackhouse off a wide screen. Knocks it down.
Good play coming out of the timeout. Everybody on the right page and perfect execution. Now, if you're Detroit, you got to try again to get it going defensively. Make it tough for Chicago. Keep the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands as well as this guy.
Kukoc for three. We have a tie ball game, and the Bulls have made it all the way back. They were down by 20 in the first half.
See, Kukoc now is playing the role of Scottie Pippen, and Burrell is playing the role of Kukoc, helping out Michael Jordan.
And help he has indeed, now with 11 points in the ballgame. This week on Fox Sports Net Baseball Thursday, the Seattle Mariners, with that shaky bullpen, take on the Minnesota Twins. Game time is 8 o'clock. Join us all season long for the best in Major League Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, your regional home of Fox Sports Net.
Here's Tony Kukoc spotting up. Pistons slow to recover. He's knocking it down. This is a guy that has missed significant action over the last week and a half. You would expect him to be a little frosty coming in, but he's shooting the rust off.
Well, if you get in trouble, why not go to that guy? Barry Sanders here. I told you, everybody's here tonight for the Detroit sporting community. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, you name it, they're here.
Off the leg of Grant Hill.
Another fine running back is here from the AFC, Jerome Bettis.
I didn't see the bus here.
The bus is here.
57 all. We saw the Bulls bus before the ball game. That one came from Pittsburgh. Short shot. Kerr with a rebound. Smallest man on the floor. Gotta watch him from three-point land. Kerr inside, blocked by Brian Williams. Still time for Chicago. Jordan misfire. Rebound to BW.
Push it is what Pistons should be thinking, because that was a key, one of the keys to their success in that first half. They ran the ball up the floor, put a lot of pressure on Chicago getting back.
Williams gave it up. Dumars called for it, a Trey try. Rebound to Williams. Bryant inside with the right hand. 59-57. Williams was 16 against his former team. He also has 10 boards. Kukoc, clever move, missed a shot, rebound, Stackhouses.
Two people very effectively blocked Rodman off the glass that time.
Grant Hill wants it against Burrell. He's defended him well tonight. Ran inside though, gave it up. Stackhouse tried. Rims out to Kukoc. It was for three. Jordan Williams. Tongue waggling, gave it up.
It sure was.
Kerr, we're tied at 59. Our previous tie before it was 57-all was 4-4. That's how far the Bulls had to come. 2.5 to play in the third. Stackhouse, too quick for Kukoc. Gave it up though. Lindsay tries on a 3-try. Rebound Burrell.
See, Chicago now defensively, they're dictating to the Pistons what type of shots they're going to get. That did not happen in the first half.
Rodman forced the pass for Burrell, knocked away Brian Williams. Got forced out.
And again, being able to run and get an easy basket. Sure, it came off the turnover, and it's easier to run off a turnover. But when you get a defensive rebound, you got to at least push it and try to see what you can create for yourself. And that's what Detroit is not doing enough of in this third quarter.
But at least the Pistons have recaptured the lead, keeping their composure here as Stackhouse now has 10 points. And the Pistons with 4 players in double figures.
Here's Detroit on the steal and the run out. Grant Hill with an excellent pass in his stride for Stackhouse dunking. Give it up. And Stackhouse finishes very well.
Well, as the Pistons contemplate the possibility of keeping Stackhouse in the offseason, a lot of it will be determined by, frankly, how much he demands on the open market. But the upside situation with Stackhouse is he's only 23 years of age. He is certainly settled into the 6-man role, knows if Joe Dumars comes back next year, that again will be his role. And so it'll be interesting to see if Stackhouse and Hill will try to develop more chemistry next year.
Chemistry being the key word, and you know, Fred, you can see it developing between these two guys. You know, they're getting more and more comfortable with each other out there on the floor. And the only way that you can become a championship team is to have guys out on the floor that are comfortable, that know one another instinctively. You think about all the teams that have won championships, they've all had that stability, and that's what Detroit is searching for once again.
And while Stack, I'm sure, would like to be the man, as a lot of people expected he would be coming out of Carolina, he's got to know that Grant Hill is going to make his game better.
You would hope that he'd know that, and taking a step back, yet still being a very integral part of a team. I don't see anything wrong with that. Scottie Pippen's done it. He's got 5 rings. James Worthy did it with the Los Angeles Lakers. Heck, even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it. They knew that was Magic Johnson's team, but they won championship after another.
Yeah, Worthy's a great example. Another guy out of North Carolina. It's been thumbs up for the most part tonight, although the third quarter, you'd say thumbs down to that as the Bulls lead by 11. But look at that, Chicago 9 first quarter points. Rick Mahorn back on the floor for Detroit. And Brian Williams will get a rest. Coach with it. Kerr swings it to Harper. 10 on the shot clock for the Bulls. Dickie Simpkins in the ball game. Set the screen and rolled. Didn't get it. Rodman does in the post. Nice pass. A couple of them actually.
We're not going to get it off.
And a strip by Rick Mahorn as Simpkins would have shot it. But Horn with the defense, and the Pistons get it back with a minute and a half to go in the quarter.
It was excellent people movement and ball movement by Chicago, bettered by the quick hands defensively of Rick Mahorn.
Pistons nursing a 2-point lead. Ran against Kukoc, gives up 2 inches. Fights his way inside, was tripped, no whistle. Back to Grant, plenty of time to shoot. 7 on the shot clock. Grant fires. Rebound, fought for. Robin and Stackhouse. Stack won the battle.
He fought for it. He had that inside position. Almost got his shoulder ripped off in the process, but he comes away and gives the Pistons another 24 seconds.
Not easy to pry it away from one. Stackhouse to the hole. No, sir. Rebound, Simpkins. Bulls again looking to tire lead. Harper blocked by Mahorn. Oh, and a late whistle foul as he says, Bruce Alexander, that Mahorn banged him on the ear. He not arguing, so as Harper got up slowly. One-time Cavalier will shoot two. See if the contact was on the side of the head here.
The little change of direction, and man, what?
That's not a good call. I mean, Ricky got it cleanly.
He did.
So the Jordan rules applying to Harper this time. Harper will look for his 8th point and a chance to tie things as Bushler comes back in.
See, the problem right now and the concern for the Detroit Pistons, you got Michael Jordan down on the Chicago bench resting, getting ready for the 4th quarter. And you know, Chicago has used this 3rd quarter to forge their way back into this game. They got a chance to tie it up right now.
Pistons only with 4 attempts, and they're the home team. And the Bulls are thinking, hey, if we shoot our norm, as they go now 4 for 12, we'd be leading this game. Both teams pointing in their own directions. Alvin Jefferson, come on, it went off a bull leg.
It went off Steve Kerr's leg.
Alvin really upset.
And 3 officials missed it.
Letting them know, and now he's hit with a technical. Alvin saying, if you do your job, I wouldn't be chewing your ear off. So the Bulls will get a technical free throw, a chance to tie. Let's see if Alvin was exactly right.
Just keep your eye on Steve Kerr.
Yep, off his leg, off a foot though, Mahorn. Proper call. Give the officials credit.
I stand corrected. That's amazing.
Somebody caught it, and they made the proper call, even though Alvin didn't, unfortunately, see the ball go off the shoe of Mahorn. Harper on the catch. Saves it somehow to Kerr. Almost lost it. Now they do. 44.5 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter and a 61 all-time. You'd never know it on the face of the Bulls head coach. But the Pistons continue to cough it up. They take that number for the entire game after this stage of it. Grant Hill backing down Kukoc. Nowhere to go. Back to Grant. Kukoc falling down. Todd wanted a foul. Stackhouse splits the D. Stack attack. 63-61. Pistons by 2.
Beautiful setup by Grant Hill. Man, he's doing a great job of dishing today. Look at this. Gets it inside. Stack does the rest. Aggressively to the hole.
Pistons by a deuce again. A good one at the Palace. Simpkins with a ball fake. Losing Mahorn. Passed up a shot. Bushler will try. We're tied again. 63 all.
That's a good extra pass that time by Simpkins. Once again, sharing the basketball. That works.
Dumars spins into a shot. Rebound Seeley with time. Almost tipped in by Stackhouse. And a miraculous effort.
Seeley had more time than he was aware of.
A chance to land anyway and get squared up. Maybe not a dribble, but at any rate, 12 minutes to go at the Palace. 63-63.
Gas up at Jack's and get the Blue Coral Works package free. 10 punches on your frequent fueler card entitles you to a free Works package with the purchase of a car wash.
Singing a song, side by side.
Want lobster? How about shrimp? Have both for only $11.99. Right now at Red Lobster, shrimp and lobster are together, side by side, for one very enticing price. So grab some food before this offer ends and enjoy. Because life on land is dry.
Side by side.
If I've been successful in one thing in life, it's really getting to the biker's mindset. They want it fast, they want it now, and they want it good. You must remember, this is not a normal party. This is 100,000 bikers. You need finger food, and of course, a nice cold beer. And for those that don't know what 20,000 mozzarella marineros would do, we lay them end to end and reach from here to the sun. Can't stop eating them, they're just great.
I'm not paying that.
It's another case of sticker shock, but your Superstar dealer has the cure.
You don't have to worry about high prices when you shop at one of my dealerships. I've made a special purchase of over 300 1- and 2-year-old vehicles that you can buy or lease with unbelievable low monthly payments.
Special purchase Escorts and Tracers from $159 a month. Contours and Mystiques from $169 a month. Tauruses and Sables from $189 a month.
Save a ton of money. Call now, 1-800-MAIL-FAR.
Fox Sports News Primetime. We are there. You're watching Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit.
Come see the Vipers defend the Turner Cup with your playoff passport. Playoff passports assure you of a seat for the entire playoff run. Plus, with every passport purchase, you receive a credit of $50 towards the purchase of a season ticket next year. Call the playoffs hotline at 248-377-0100 to reserve your playoff tickets. Quantities are limited, so call. Darren Banks, gentleman in the middle, and Brad Shaw, along with Dan Kessa with the hat on. These guys were signing autographs tonight. As the Vipers getting ready, as we mentioned, Game 1 will be here on Fox Sports Detroit as they take on the K-Wings. So the Pistons and Bulls begin the fourth quarter tied. Pistons shot 32% from the floor in the third quarter. The Bulls were 52%. As the Pistons were outscored 28-15. Sealy hesitated, passed up a shot, where that Kukoc was lurking. Joe D, nice drop off. Stackhouse, the tomahawk attempt, and he is fouled as both Rodman and Burrell were there to meet him at the summit.
Well, Stackhouse knew there would be no chance that he'd get close enough to the rim to flush it the way he was intending, but he went aggressively.
Listen to the smack here.
That sounded like the trenches in football, baby.
Worm got his money's worth on that.
Yes, he did. But Stackhouse, give him credit. He went in there aggressively, expected contact, got it. Now he's got to shake it off and make a couple of free throws.
Now, what could those guys be talking about? Well, asking MJ maybe if he'll make a visit to the Dumars Fieldhouse this summer. Or maybe he's asking him, Michael, you really going to retire?
And Michael's saying, Joe, if you're coming back, I'll be back.
And Michael's probably asking, Joe, are you really going to retire? There's Dumars, not quite in the financial bracket as Jordan, with his $30 million plus, 32 to be exact.
Well, you know, when Jordan was vastly underpaid for his work with the Bulls, Joe was making more than Michael Jordan.
Yes, he was.
Now Jordan's making more than the league.
65-63. Pistons by a deuce. Rodman. 7 on the shot clock. We're all back to Jordan. MJ has not looked to shoot much in the second half. Fires that one, though. Missed it badly in a 24-second violation. No rim.
It's a good job of defense. We had two guys making sure Jordan did not penetrate the lane, get to the basket where he can draw fouls. Especially with the shot clock winding down, forced him to have to take the hurried jumper, and he couldn't answer.
Jordan now 5 for 19 from the floor tonight. Grant against Burrell, wide defensive base. Grant fought his way into a shot, and it went. He's got 14. Had to earn that, baby. He's nearing another triple-double, has 8 rebounds, 9 assists.
You know, Grant Hill has had to earn them all. He hasn't had very much come easy tonight. It's a possession game now.
Rodman, nice pass block. Inside, Stackhouse, 8 up the shot of Harper.
Smart play by Brian Williams to hold on to the basketball and not risk a long pass up the floor that could have been thrown out of bounds or picked off.
Pistons by 4 as Grant goes back to work. They clear the floor for him against Burrell. Kukoc to help out. Grant missed a shot. Rodman bang, Hill to the floor, no foul. That's got to be a loose ball whistle. Kukoc sails in and scores.
He hit him hard.
He did. Grant Hill now giving Joe Forte an earful.
Rodman knocked him off the ball.
That was absurd. Similar situation that Stackhouse was banged in Chicago, you may recall, late regulation, no whistle. Stackhouse with it. Gave it up behind Joe D. The catch and shot. Rebound Burrell. Bulls looking to tie or go in front. Flip pass to Jordan. Covered by Seeley. Forcing Chicago to go into a half-court set. Burrell with it. Cutting Kukoc. Headed off by Seeley. 3 to shoot. Blocked by Williams. Almost a goal tip. And a 24-second violation again on the Bulls. BW got it just in the nick of time. Let's go back now a moment ago when we certainly thought Grant Hill was fouled by Rodman.
Okay, watch the basketball. He's going for it, and right there, bam, slammed by Rodman, knocked off the basketball, and Kukoc took it up the floor and scored for Chicago. Now, if that was goaltending a moment ago, then you're all even on the no calls.
I guess, but that's got to be a foul. Wasn't called. Grant to the hole. He'll look for a three-point play. 9:20 to play. The Pistons lead could be 5.
Let me remind you, as Grant Hill makes this hard move to the hole, and you think about all the energy that the Pistons have expended in this game, the Pistons have nothing to play for but pride.
The Bulls have everything to play for. The best record in the NBA and the home court advantage that goes with it. Mentioned Grant nearing that triple-double. It would be his 5th of the year. Kerr reemerges. Burrell sits down. Kerr has that John Paxson ability to hit the big shot when other teams are defending the likes of Pippen and Jordan.
And before him, it was BJ, and before that, it was Craig Hodges. You know, you only need to have a guy like that on your team when you got penetrators, especially a guy like Jordan that's going to draw double teams. You augment him with a shooter, and that shooter doesn't have to be a great player, but he becomes a great asset to your team.
Foul. Seeley picked it up, but at least he's playing aggressively and has done that, frankly, tonight in this stint. We saw him a moment ago up in the face of Jordan. Piston lead is 5.
You know, you think that a guy like Sean Westbrook would have been perfect with a guy like Jordan.
Good point. Maybe get his confidence back. Kukoc to Rodman. Back to Kukoc. Missed it. Rebound. Brian Williams has played his best game in weeks. Jerome Williams on the floor. Finds Stackhouse.
I think Jerome Williams hung on to the ball just a little bit too long. Should have given it up earlier. That allowed Rodman that extra second to recover defensively.
Jordan with it. Goes inside. A double clutcher. Almost went down. And Jordan, who was apparently poked in the eye, will shoot 2 more. Watch a scintillating play, though, by Worm. We saw him do this as a Piston for sure.
See, it was a 3-on-1 break. Curdy only got back. Jerome held on to it a little too long, and that's what allowed Rodman to get all the way back defensively. And then there's the foul on a penetrating Michael Jordan, who has struggled at the line throughout the evening.
Jordan the first of 2. I didn't realize that Rodman pinned the ball against the glass. Supposedly, you're not able to do that. Many times you'll see that called a goal tip. Jordan rolls in the second.
You're right. That's allowed in college. Not at this level, but I'm not so sure Freddie got an absolute clean pin. It looked like it spun out of there just as he was about to get the full pin to the backboard.
Williams in double trouble. Had to give it up. Seeley with a 3 try. Rimmed out for him to Rodman. Worm now with 11 boards. Bulls down 3. Jordan. Gave it up to Bushler. Judd Bushler, a serviceable jump shooter. And tonight he's got 7 points.
And all he did was come down, station himself in the corner, and wait for Michael Jordan to make a move, draw a couple of defenders, and kick it out. But that's basketball at its simplest.
Stackhouse in the lane. No. Rebound, volleyball 4. Comes out to Brian Williams. No need to hurry here. Stack with the ball fake. Goes inside, and he was fouled on the drive. You know, Bushler, another one of those guys like a Kerr, who basically has had his career saved playing with the likes of Pippen and Jordan.
He's a very lucky man. But you can say that about 7 or 8 guys over there.
They're all lucky to be on that team. Bill Wennington had his career off the scrap heap. Grant Hill gave it up on the drive. Now there's a makeup call because Rodman barely brushed him. But actually they give the foul to Jordan. But a makeup nonetheless, and Michael's not going to argue. A little bit of a bump there. Back live, Pistons missed a shot, rebound fought for out of bounds to the red shirts. Rodman and Jerome Williams get hooked up.
You know, I think Grant Hill's a terrific basketball player, and he has moves that are slippery and silky smooth. Yet you've got Michael Jordan at 35 years of age hanging in there with just about every move. The guy defies.
Because no one sees how hard he works in the offseason and during practice. He's the hardest working bull in the ball club, even at age 35.
Yeah, just defies his age, no question.
He wills the rest of the team with it. Kerr has to hurry. 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. They don't get it off on time. Third 24-second violation against the Bulls in this quarter.
Pistons kept the Bulls on one side of the floor, refused to allow them to reverse the basketball until it was absolutely late on the shot clock. Bushler, no time to get it off. That was good defense.
Pistons still clinging to a 1-point lead. Bulls now trying to catch up in the turnover department.
This game has become a complete defensive struggle.
Sealy. Airmailed it. Rebound, Brian Williams laid it in. BW with 18. He's maintained his intensity throughout against a very good ball club. Plus, he's got 14 boards.
Oh, yeah, he's into this. And you know what? Predictable. These are the Bulls. You can't get up for them. Forget it.
But you got to do it other nights, too, against the Vancouvers of the world. Jordan, nothing but the bottom.
Yeah, you got to find your motivation and play everybody hard. And that's one of the things that's made MJ great. I mean, a lot of things have made him great, but he plays hard against everybody.
72-71, Pistons by 1. Grant, nice move. Stop. There's some symmetry.
Again, Grant Hill on the setup. He is tremendous tonight, dishing it off to open teammates. And Stackhouse has been the beneficiary several times.
Grant now with 10 assists, so he is 2 rebounds shy of a 5th triple-double. Stepping up his game. Pistons hanging tough here down the stretch. Almost halfway through the 4th. They lead by 3.
Dress up and save now at Mr. Allen's. Georgia Pertini, 29 and 2 for 50. Stacey Adams, 29 and 2 for 50. San Remo, 29 and 2 for 50. Snakeskin leather, crocodile print. Save big at Mr. Allen's. Exotics are in at Mr. Allen's. Stacey Adams exotic combination, 59 and 2 for 100. The ultimate dress shoe. David Eaton big patch alligators in awesome colors. Reduced to only $2.99. Exotics, Mr. Allen's. Mr. Allen's, Greater Detroit's largest Pele Pele dealer, has all the latest fashions from Pele Pele for men and kids. Mr. Allen's, now open in Redford.
We now take you live via sparring cam as heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis prepares for his upcoming title defense. Lennox, how you doing?
I feel good.
So what's the pre-fight strategy?
My speed is the key.
You have to like your chances.
If I'm on my game, I'm unstoppable.
Word is that you're ducking Holyfield.
Say what? Any more questions?
Please welcome an NBA legend, Ozzie Schechtman, folks. Yo, Oz, you scored the first basket in NBA history back in '47 for the Knicks. Was it like one of Stack's Wide World of Hurt super slams?
Well, it was actually a layup.
Like one of Grant's death-denying scoop kisses high off the glass, baby.
It was just a layup. Get off my back.
Ray Allen and the Bucks bring it to the Palace to battle Grant Hill and the Pistons. Bucks Pistons, Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. You're watching Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit.
Detroit Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Malfar Automotive Group. The bigger we get, the better deals you get. And by Sprite. Obey your thirst, Sprite.
Well, 4th quarter. They play the final countdown. The song so synonymous with the Piston championship teams of the late 80s. 1990. 74-71. Pistons with a 3-point lead. A full house here tonight, and I dare say no one has left the building. Grant Hill putting on a show with 17 points. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan struggling, 6 for 20 from the floor. But there's plenty of time for his heroics. Grant Hill up on him now. MJ against it. Spin move. Ball fake. Steal. Grant Hill.
Took it right from him.
And now back the other way. Hill against MJ behind the back. Little one-on-one magic for about 20 seconds. Stackhouse knows he can take Bushler. Does inside. Drop off inside. Jerome Williams hit the bottom of the backboard. Brian Williams. He's got 20. This is the BW the Pistons signed in the offseason. The one who helped the Bulls to a championship and has raised his game tonight. Pistons by 5. Kukoc with it. So clever with either hand. In the lane. Missed it. Rebound comes down to Detroit. Pistons on the run. 4-on-2. Flashing is Stackhouse. Oh, my!
Whenever they run, they come away with good dividends. And again, most of it's keyed off the defense. The Pistons have surged because their defensive intensity has turned up on the last 2 or 3 possessions.
Bulls down by 7. Pistons on a 6-2 run. Down deep to Rodman. Hasn't looked to shoot much. Bushler gave it up to Kukoc in the post. Rebound, Brian Williams.
And one shot. That's all they get. Dennis Rodman is not a force on the offensive glass here.
Time not yet a factor, but it's getting close to being so for Chicago. And they call a timeout. 78-71, a 7-point Piston lead. Phil Jackson has to be concerned as the Pistons able to fill the lane and another stack attack. We'll be back.
Do you believe man was meant to fly? We do.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away.
Mobile, where everything we do lets you take wing.
I believe I can fly.
Yeah. We've got this song called Home Is Where My Harley Is that we'll be playing at the 95th reunion for Harley. On that wide open roads where I feel right at home. Because home is where my Harley is.
Because home is where my Harley.
You know, you can almost hear a motorcycle going when you play it. Well, I like it because it rocks. Very music, summertime. Woo!
From coast to coast, we are there. Experienced.
They know that a win brings them one step closer to their ultimate goal.
Insightful.
That's the first time that George Steinbrenner ever thanked him or said that he did a good job.
It's sports journalism the way it's supposed to be.
And all they've really given us to believe in so far are new uniforms and a Japanese pitcher. As good as it gets.
Fox Sports News New York correspondent Michael Kay. From coast to coast, we are there.
Give you tonight's Discover Card, playback, brought to you by the Discover Card. Grant Hill on the run. When the Pistons have played the Bulls this year, when they've been able to beat them down the floor, good things have happened. And it doesn't get much better than that. Jerry Stackhouse throws it down. He has 18 points. He and Grant have combined for 37 of the 78 Piston points here tonight. But still, 4.5 minutes left to play. And when you're talking about the world champions, 5 times over, you have to be concerned that they'll be able to pull out some heroics to pick up a road victory.
Hey, these guys are playing hard. They're playing well on both ends of the floor. There's a John Travolta wannabe.
Key matchup tonight, our Michigan Toyota dealers key matchup. Grant Hill and Michael Jordan even up in the point totals. But look at Jordan, 6 for 20. Grant is 7 for 15 for his.
And 11 assists for Grant Hill.
Sealy, a little bit short. Rebound to the Bulls.
If you're Detroit, defensively now, you've got to try to continue to keep the ball out of MJ's hands.
In the post, a foul, Grant Hill from behind Michael Jordan.
I mean, you'd rather have a guy like Kukoc, who you know can hurt you, but you'd rather have him trying to create and get points at this point of the game, down the stretch when it's winning time, as opposed to giving it to Michael Jordan.
But you see where the Bulls dearly miss Scottie Pippen in these kind of situations.
No question.
Jordan backing down against Grant, one-on-one. Strip again by Grant. Jordan stayed with it, though. Burrell, a long three. Oh, missed it. Rebound, Stackhouse. I thought that baby was down.
Excellent defense by Grant Hill to dislodge it and get it out of the hands of Michael Jordan.
Grant, three. Hill streaked down the floor, threw a fastball, and BW hammered it. 80-71, Pistons by 9.
I know the offense is clicking for Detroit, but defensively is where they're getting this separation right now between themselves and Chicago.
Burrell off the glass. He banked it home. Give him 13. 80-73.
I think Burrell's going to be a very important player for them at playoff time.
He can do it at both ends. 3:15 and ticking in the fourth. Hill against Burrell. Rises. Rebound, fought for. Rodman and Jerome Williams. Ball goes out of bounds. To whom? Officials conferring. They don't know, so it's a jump ball. None of the three could make an assertive call.
He's been dishing delectable delights all night. And there's another.
Grant deserves a triple-double the way he has played tonight. He's 2 rebounds shy. It should be Jerome Williams and Rodman. No, instead it's Brian Williams and Kukoc. Pair of 6'11" guys, both left-handers.
Yeah, when they don't know who is out of bounds on and they force a jump ball, anybody can step to the circle.
And it's won by Grant.
Pistons in no hurry, or should be in no hurry right now, unless they've just got a clear path to the basket.
Stackhouse against Jordan. Sizes him up, goes inside, stripper up. How did he pick his pocket? And that's literally what he did. Jordan with it. Bulls down 7. No panic in his game. In the lane, falls, score. He's only done that a million times. He's got 19.
So that puts Chicago back in a position to rely on their defense and not have to foul to get a possession, even if Detroit decides to use up all the clock before shooting.
Sealy with Kerr up on it. Brian Williams wanted the ball. Gave it up. Sealy, face-up jumper, missed it. Rebound, fought for. It's Dennis Rodman. Bulls contemplating this comeback. Coming up on 2 minutes to play. They trail 5. It's been Hill against Jordan at both ends in the fourth quarter, primarily. Knock away Grant, but a foul. Oh, another cheapie. Grant looks at Joe Forte as if to say, I don't know about that one. Here's your 2-minute warning. Coming up tonight after the game on Fox Sports News Primetime, the Wings and Stars go at it in Big D. Tigers also outside of Big D, and a base brawl in Cleveland, the first of the year and the first of many, I'm sure, this baseball season. Right now, the Pistons in a shootout themselves with a 5-point lead as they've picked up their 4th team foul in the quarter. It'll be a Bulls inbound, just under 2 minutes to go, crunch time at the Palace.
Well, my Discover card statement reads like a wish list.
What?
Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines. This will improve my golf game. It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. Discover card cashback bonus, no competition.
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-pays-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Is there a best time to buy a new Camry? In a word, now. Spring shipments are in, and your Toyota dealer is crunching the numbers with leases starting at just $249 a month on equipped Camry. Or add another $500 at signing, crunch that number down to $239 a month. Add another $1,000 at signing and crunch that Camry lease all the way down to $219 a month. Want to crunch your lease payments? Get to your Toyota dealer before April 30th. See your Toyota dealer. He's out to get you more Camry for less right now.
Well, you got Michael Jordan one-on-one against Grant Hill, going to his patented fadeaway in the lane, and that pulls Chicago to within 5 points. Jordan is 7 of 21 from the field. Again, he's had to work for every basket, and I think Grant Hill has defended him in one-on-one situations superbly tonight.
Grant has frankly outplayed him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why Anita Baker is happy here tonight. Herman Moore is here. We saw Barry Sanders earlier. Saw their old coach Wayne Fonts here. Lions well represented. Thomas Hearns. Joe D back on the floor. He has sat quite a bit of this fourth quarter. Again, keep in mind, battling the flu. Brian Williams, always wondering what's rolling around upstairs in his head.
I think right now, beating his former team, I think he'd get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
He has played great tonight. He's got 5 offensive rebounds, 15 boards overall. He's been terrific. Steve Kerr missed it. Tried to chase it down. Falls on the Pistons bench. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Chicago. Kerr normally hits that shot.
That was a big, big miss because that would have pulled Chicago to within 2. Now, they're still in a situation where they don't have to foul. They can depend on their defense. But time, very quickly now, is becoming a huge concern for the Bulls.
I mean, expect Kerr to make that. He's a 48% shooter lifetime from three-point land. Bushler back out there.
Yeah, if I'm the Pistons, I get it in Grant Hill's hands. I work the clock.
Burrell defending. He's all over. Burrell trying for a steal. Randall burns some time. Got a screen from Williams. Takes it at Rodney. Joe D back to BW. Creates inside. Missed it. Rebound Bushler. Jordan with a basketball. Still time for the guys in red. Minute and a half left. Jordan for a 3 try. Missed it. Rebound Jerome Williams. Stackhouse called for it. Jordan tried for a steal. Open floor knockdown. Crowd, of course, wants a flagrant foul. And in Jordan's defense, he was going for the basketball.
Yeah, nothing flagrant about that. I mean, honest effort at the basketball. But nice job of fighting for the rebound. Jerome Williams out-dueling Bushler for the basketball. And there's your contact right at the mid-stripe. Now, Stackhouse, very important that he knocks the 2 free throws down. That makes it a 3-possession game.
Stack a 78% free thrower, hits the first of 2. You saw Jordan pull away at the last instant once he felt contact. Kerr back on. He still miffed that he missed that last open shot. Stackhouse got them both. He's got 20. Jerry has also stepped up tonight.
It will be a very, very damaging loss to Chicago in their home court aspirations.
Jordan missed it. He just doesn't look comfortable shooting the ball tonight, man.
He really hasn't.
I mean, you give him that shot out of 100, I'll bet he'll knock down 85 of them.
But you know what? The Pistons, and to their credit, kept him off balance tonight. You know, you never had Michael knocking down 3 or 4 in a row. You know, going on those type of scoring binges. Everything has been short or long, hurried or harassed.
So Jordan 7 for 23 from the floor now.
Now keep in mind, you know, even if Chicago had come in here and won, if Utah wins out, then it would have been all academic anyway.
Right.
You indicated earlier that Utah, by virtue of their 2 wins over Chicago, they've got the home court advantage locked up.
Well, listen to this. Utah ends the regular season with road games at Phoenix and the Lakers. I mean, conceivable they could lose both of those. So a Chicago loss here tonight would really be damaging. It would give the Jazz a little cushion this weekend. So 1:12 left to play. 1 more free throw to come. Grant will try to split the pair. Jordan is human. We know it, but we've certainly seen it here tonight with his shooting display. Johnny Bach knows, of course, all about coaching Michael Jordan, as he did for several years on the Bulls bench, calling Michael the ultimate assassin, meaning that he has that incredible, unique ability, as the great ones like the Magic Johnson and Larry Birds do.
Well, you know what?
To go for the kill.
He really does, Fred. And you only need to look at this rivalry between Detroit and Chicago. It took him about 5 years to get over the top when these two teams were competing in the Eastern Conference. And even when Detroit fell down and Chicago remained at the top, it seemed as though he still took extreme pleasure in sticking it to Detroit. And I mean, even when Detroit was winning just 28 and 20 games during the season.
Well, remember, of course, after 89 and 90 championship seasons, the Bulls were disappointed, and Jordan was pretty critical of the Pistons' style of play, which rankled a lot of folks in this town. But you see this year, the Bulls at the bottom outscoring opponents by an average of 7.5 points a game. Now, those are the other championship seasons, and other than 93, when they were just at 6.3, they've outscored opponents by a bigger margin. But also go back to the bottom line, 89 points a game allowed. So their best defensive effort of a possible championship run here.
Well, again, you know, you had the Bulls winning 72 games one year and 70 games another year, or 69 games another year, on the way to a couple of championships. This year, they put it on cruise control, and they still won 60 games. And they're trying to be as healthy as they possibly can be when playoff time comes around. But I think that Luke Longley and his availability will be a critical issue for the Bulls, because they're going to need him if they have to go up in the West against a Shaquille O'Neal or a Karl Malone, a team with a big inside presence like that.
And, of course, they don't have a Brian Williams in their lineup, as they did for part of April and then the playoffs last season. So Grant Svilas will toe the line here with one more free throw.
And, of course, I am not writing off the Seattle Supersonics. I'm not quite as enthused about the San Antonio Spurs.
Grant missed them both. Opens the door slightly for the Bulls.
Still a three-possession game, clock running.
Burrell, a two. Hit the big shot. Gotta like his game tonight if you're a Bulls fan.
You're absolutely right.
He's got 15 points.
Chicago can play defense. They really did not have to foul, but they realize that time is slipping away and it's critical, so they're going to put the Pistons on the line and hope that Joe Dumars can miss two.
That was a curious foul, though, with 54 seconds left to play. I mean, we're only talking about a two-possession game right now.
Right, the Pistons will take it. Easy way to get it back up to 7 points.
And you're putting arguably the best free throw in the Pistons roster at the line.
But you know, missed free throws are contagious. I've always felt that.
3 in a row for the Pistons.
And at clutch time, you know, they become that much tougher.
This would keep it at a two-possession game. 83-77, Bulls trail by 2 3-pointers. Scott Burrell got away with one. Jordan, an afterthought. Missed it. Rebound, Williams. Chased down. And a foul, Rodman. Stops the clock with 45 seconds to go. I mean, even that one, that was not a typical Michael Jordan shot.
And it didn't look like he really wanted to take it. I thought he was looking for maybe Burrell or Kerr or even Kukoc, someone to give it up to. But the Pistons gave him that shot. And he was off once again. Watch him as he surveys. Looking. Jerome Williams playing off. Finally, he hoists. But Fred, as you indicated, he has been off the mark all night. And I don't know how much this should I say victory? I'll wait.
Yeah, as I remember on our last telecast against the Celtics,
I know.
You telestrated a W.
I know, and I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson because the Celtics overcame a huge lead to win that game at the buzzer. But if the Pistons can get this win, I don't know how much sting it'll take off some of those very disappointing losses, but I'm sure it will be gratifying to a large degree.
A lot of missed lost them both. Can you believe this? The Pistons have missed 5 of the last 6 free throws. Giving the Bulls a chance here, but they almost need to fire some threes. Jordan does. Missed it. A microcosm of his entire night.
Sure has been.
And now the Pistons will force him to foul.
I'm going to go out on that limb. I'm going to take a step out there. Pistons going to win this game, Fred.
Yeah, but you're also reaching for the trunk, too.
And I was made to eat my words the last time we were together.
So Joe D for 2. 26.6 to go. 1 down.
The Pistons were able to stymie Jordan. And for the most part, they put the clamps on everyone else. They made it very tough for the Bulls to get into any flow. Defensively, they were superb. That is the reason why they're going to win this game.
Ryan Williams on offensive board. Actually could have kicked it back out. And that's exactly what Alvin Gentry is telling him. Ryan, bring it back out. Williams will be at the line. Poor Alvin. All he wants to do is enjoy a lousy, measly fourth quarter victory in which he's led. That's all he's asking for.
He wants to see that clock run. Because, you know, if they don't foul him and he misses, Chicago gets the ball. And they're coming down.
Can you believe this?
Man, just need to stick one of them.
Not only is this contagious, it's an epidemic right now. Sure, the old Appalachian State star wouldn't mind going out and knocking down some free throws here. Let me show you
in his suit. In his suit.
Williams nurses that one in. 85-77. Can't fault Brian, though, with the game he has come up with here tonight. How about a Grant Hill rebound here? Coach to the hall. A meaningless 2. As the Pistons will kill clock or be fouled. Alley-oop. Good night.
The Pistons are going to win this game. I'll guarantee it.
Burrell for 3. Jerry Stackhouse got a piece of the rebound. The Chicago Bulls have lost 3 of their last 4. And a show of mutual respect at midcourt just a second ago. Michael Jordan's heading Joe Dumars on the backside. Could it be the last time those two will meet in an NBA game? 87-79. Grant Hill a near triple-double, 1 rebound shy, and a terrific performance as the Pistons give the Bulls a damaging blow in their hopes to have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. All right, our next Pistons telecast Friday night against the Milwaukee Bucks in the home court finale, and then Sunday, the Pistons in the season finale taking on the Nets in New Jersey. For Greg Kelser, I'm Fred McLeod saying so long from the Palace. The Pistons had a 20-point lead, almost saw it slip away for good, but they prevail over the Bulls 87-79 as Alvin Gentry says finally. Gotta love that. You've been watching Detroit Pistons coverage on Fox Sports Detroit, your home of Fox Sports Net. Now we take you to the Fox Network Center for Fox Sports News Primetime. Good night, everybody.
Welcome back to Inside the NBA, and as seen on TBS, the Bulls and the Pistons. This one was played at the Palace tonight, and what a first quarter for Detroit. Lindsey Hanna, the alley-oop to Grant Hill for the jam. No, Chicago had a 9-point first quarter in this game. In the second quarter, Michael Jordan cutting across the lane, reverse layup, 31-17, Pistons in front. Pistons breaking. Hill, B. Williams hustling down the floor for the lay-in. 35-19, Detroit out in front. Tony Kukoc back in action, nails the three-pointer. Now this game is tied at 57. Chicago coming back. Jerry Stackhouse. Stack to the rack with 2 hands, 63-61. Detroit. Pistons running again. Hill, Stack. Another big jam, 78-71 Pistons. And for just the 7th time since Michael Jordan returned from baseball, the Bulls failed to score 80 points in a game and lose. No Scottie Pippen this evening. The report, kidney stones, did not make the game. How big was that, Ken?
Big. You know, Scottie Pippen, everyone says Michael Jordan can't be missed, but Scottie Pippen can't be missed either.
So the Bulls now have lost 3 of 4, and you wonder if Zen master Phil Jackson is concerned.
Well, I'm not so concerned about that. I think that, every year at the end of a season, it's pretty tough to stay on track all the time. And especially with teams that, their season's over in the end of the week. We know what our season takes and entails, and the energy that has to be driven from that next 2 months if we can keep playing. So, it's just a matter of, regrouping and playing it out to what its value is. And, we know what we have to do.
Well, Saturday night, see the Chicago Bulls as they host the Knicks on NBC. Primetime start with showtime at 8 p.m. Eastern, including a retrospective on the marvelous career of Michael Jordan, a Jordan tribute entitled Michael Jordan, A Champion's Journey, followed by New York and Chicago. Well, there was a time when Grant Hill was considered the heir apparent to Air Jordan, but presently Hill has a new description. No more Mr. Nice Guy Grant Hill. Losing is going to do that to you. 12 times this season, the Pistons have failed to tie or win on their final possession. So Hill faces the final bad finish, the end of his regular season, and no playoff to show for it. Hill grew weary this year, but he also grew up. Our Brian Burwell reports.
Did it ever get to a point this season where you honestly felt like quitting?
Yeah, it did. And early on, it felt like, you just felt like quitting. It wasn't fun, No, I mean, it was my first time going through this. So, and that'd have been the easy thing to do, I mean, I think you think about it, it enters your mind sometimes. You're not really serious about it, but you're thinking about it. But it was just miserable, Just the losing is miserable.
The situation with Doug Collins certainly was a difficult thing for you. What about that relationship did not work?
Well, I mean, I think it's all unfortunate. This one thing I've learned is that this is a business, and this is tough. And sometimes when you have friendships and business, sometimes there's an old expression that you can't mix the two. My thing is really, who cares? The past, I have an expression, the past is history, the future is a mystery, and the moment's a gift, and that's why they call it the present. And, I can't worry about what happened in the past, the good and the bad, and can't worry about, hey, we won at Duke, but that ain't doing nothing for me now. The bad boys won in '89 and '90. That ain't doing nothing for us as a team right now. What happened this year with Doug, and how it was handled, or what happened, that ain't doing nothing for us now. Let's stop putting the blame, worrying about the blame, and let's just try to fix it and make it better.
Then what did you learn about yourself?
Oh, man, I learned a lot. No, I think I've grown. I just think I've I mean, I'm 25 already, but I think I really just have grown up a great deal, more so over the last 6-7 months. Matured, grown up, become a man, whatever you want to call it.
Grant Hill is ejected from the game.
I think if anybody else had been thrown out of the game or, threw somebody in the ground or whatever, they wouldn't have made a big deal, but because it's me and because of my image and then it's a big deal, not Grant. Grant Hill didn't get thrown out of the game. That's, people would call up, you okay? Everything all right? And
did you get those kind of phone calls?
Oh, man, everybody, is everything all right, man?
Who called?
Everybody. All my friends and my parents. They're the Final Four. They're like, everything all right? They got thrown out the game. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I've changed. I think the people who know me and have been around me, my friends and my family, they've seen a change. I think that's part of life, part of changing. It's an evolution, it's a growing. And I hope I change. I hope hope I'm 35. I'm not like I am now.
This is sort of like life imitating art. You're imitating the TV commercials.
Yeah, yeah, I know, exactly. They're making me do bad things.
Will you blind out of my face?
For me, I think things have come easy. Things have come easy on the court. Been successful. I've been able to win, and never really gone through anything like this year. This is, and maybe in some ways the image has been tarnished a little bit. I've never gone through a year like this before, period, and it's been tough at times, but ultimately I think it'll help me. It's helped me thus far.
forget for a moment Grant Hill's season, but the Isuzu look ahead is his calling card, the triple-double, and how it stacks up against since entering everybody else since he's entered the NBA. Nobody's really been better. 28 triple-doubles, the most among active players, tied with Jordan. And by the way, the record for triple-doubles, 178 by Oscar Robertson, who they say averaged one over an entire season, which is ridiculous in itself. So Grant Hill, Kenny's hit with some adversity, and that's what shapes a young player, and we see it shaped him a little bit this year.
Well, I think at this point of the season, it's good to reflect now, and it's good for Grant Hill because I think all players have to reach the lowest point of their career before they can start and skyrocket back to the superstardom that he is. And I think right now, for him, it won't get any lower. Not making the playoffs, he's a great player, and now this is the point where I think everything's going to turn and the switch is going to turn back on.
Well, as a team, yes, the Pistons beat Chicago this evening, but back on March 31st, they had an overtime affair they lost in Chicago when they were really still in the race. And that game was very important. If they win that game, what might happen?
Yeah, we talked about it that night. I thought that was the biggest game of the year. That could have been the game that put them back in the playoffs, and in the race at least. And when they lost that game, I think it just took all of the heart and soul out of the team, and they said, hey, now we're 4 games out. I don't think we have the energy to get back in the playoff race.
So they were really affected by that. How will Chicago be affected by tonight's game? I mean, where are they at right now?
I really believe Phil Jackson. I think they believe that they can win at home, on the road, on Mars, on the moon, anywhere you play them, they feel that they can beat you.
And I think a lot of other teams feel that way as well.
I think so.
Chicago. All right, we'll be back on Inside the NBA with a scan of the West, the Foot Locker play of the day, and much more. Stay with us.
And those Pistons take on Michael Jordan. Did they finally manage to beat the Bulls? All of that next in sports.
And you now.
All right, to many, the big story was out at the Palace. It felt like the old days. The place was packed. Michael Jordan was human, and the Pistons won. Detroit beat Chicago 87-79. We've got highlights. First quarter, Pistons on fire. Michael Jordan blocked there by Don Reed. They turn it around to Joe Dumars, who had the flu. Hits his 4th three-pointer of the first quarter. Pistons led 22-6. He had 17. Later in the first, Pistons on the move. Lindsey Hunter, Grant Hill for the slam at 17. Pistons led by 48-35 at the break. Third quarter, Bulls came back. Bad pass here by Brian Williams. Right here, Dennis Rodman is going to get it. Rodman's going to turn it around for his only 2 points of the game. End of 3, though. It was tied 63-all. Fourth quarter, Pistons didn't fold with the ball. Grant Hill, great pass to Jerry Stackhouse. He had 20. Pistons led 74-71. Later in the fourth, Hill again to Brian Williams for the slam. He had 25. Pistons win at 87-79. Michael Jordan, 19 points, 7 of 25 shooting. Was it his last night?
Yeah, you knew when you came here you had a battle. You know, it didn't matter who was in uniform, and that has extended right to this last game, if that so happens to be the last game.
If it so happens to be the last game. After the game, Joe Dumars said that Jordan told him during the game, this is it. This is the last time you'll see me at the Palace. By the way, Scottie Pippen did not play. He was in the locker room passing a kidney stone.
What? What?
A kidney stone. Baseball tonight. You know, I got all the medical news, too, here tonight.